れか。せーの。My cabbages! Low, low, man. Ah, my cabbages!
Hey everybody, it's Andrew Esquire of the Legal Mindset, and welcome. Good to be back in the studio. Good to be here with you today on a mega update. We're going to be mostly talking about Hank Jong-yu today, Johnny's top Korean ally, and a lot of interesting stuff coming out about him. Oh boy. We're also going to do a little bit of commentary on the Atozi video, A2C video. Everybody always hates how I pronounce that. Atozi is how I'm going to say it. Deal with the people. But anyways, we're going to a little bit of comment on his equipment comments there, which I guess some people thought were new and was new news, although it's not, and it's something that we've talked about here ad nauseum and kind of links with today's topic. So we'll talk about that. And, we'll talk a little bit about an upcoming topic, or rather I'll just give you a little bit of a teaser on the next one, which is going to be big. There's some big stuff coming this week, some great stuff, and we'll be talking about that. Also, real quick, my interview with J Company is almost done. I'm doing one of my translators. I have two people who are doing final edits for the subtitles. One of them was kind enough to get those back to me. The other one will be back shortly. So as soon as I get that second opinion on some of the subtitles, that'll be out. It'll be subtitled in, once again, Korean and English, kind of in the same fashion. We're going to move the text a little bit up so it doesn't get in the way of the in the way of the bottom of the screen, because sometimes there's some stuff blocking the bottom of the screen, so we're kind of moving it up a tad. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that one. It's a really good one. I think in some ways it's almost better than the Dalgun interview. It's different. There's a lot more details in there and a lot more of the surrounding story, a lot more of the interactions with Johnny, a lot more motivations in there. So it's a really good interview. And I should have another interview or two when I am back in Korea. Now, I wasn't actually... Originally, I thought I was going to say, okay, well, the case is canceled on the 20th, so I'm not going to go back. But I've got some other interviews I want to do, so I'll probably be back in Seoul this next weekend to do some interviews and to drop off some information, pick some stuff up related to the case. So, the case rolls on. Even though Johnny doesn't have a court date, things are still clicking along here. But speaking of clicking along here, thank you, Mazrova Palma, for the 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate the support. Yes. Also, thank you to, we had Fallen Hero gift a membership, and then we had people send stuff in before the stream started, so I can't pull it up, but I'm just going to say your name. King Lugia, you gifted one gift. Thank you so much. Luxion became a member of the RPG, the replay game. Thank you. And King Lugia, you gifted another one, I believe yesterday or earlier today. Thank you for that as well. So that's two from King Lugia at separate times. Also, Scorpid Black Dragon, a member for 14 months, sent in a member chat. It says, youngster, the South Korean judge ruined your plans to attend Universal's Epic Universe on March 20th. Yeah, we all know you would really prefer a date with soon divorced Camille Vasquez. No, I actually, I didn't know Camille was getting a divorce, but hey, who knows? But that said, I do want to go to Epic Universe, of course, but I would never go on the opening day. Going on the opening day of a theme park is really intense, and I like a more chill experience than that. So I would probably go during a weekday when it's, all the kids are away and it's like not busy, when it's some sort of weekday where the numbers are as low as possible. That's when I would go to Epic Universe. So I'll go when the numbers are down. Sleazy said shekels for the blogger gang. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Sleazy. Thank you. All right. So let's get into it today, right? Now we're going to have some graphic stuff today. So we're going to have some video that's very intense. So prepare for that. Also, I'll start with a little bit of a meme here. This is actually from my good friend, the doctor. This is actually a funny one. This made me laugh. But this meme over here kind of tells the story of why Johnny does not mess with anybody but women and children. The good doctor, Dr. Ulrich, Goryeo Dynasty over there in X, says, if you want to know why Johnny Somali, Ramzi Khalid Ismail picks on women, children, and the elderly, here's why. In just a few months, we will see the anchovy in court. You got him, he's 5'4", me 5. Oh, I'm almost 6'6" over here. Put me at 6'5", but okay, I'll take it. You know, so 6'5" here, 6 foot, 5'2", 5'2". Barely comes up to the nipple. Right? It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. True anchovy manlet fashion over there. Very good one. Much appreciated. Kind of explains a lot. Very, very tiny. Very, very tiny. Like a wee cabbage. All right. So there was another kind of update. And by the way, welcome to everybody, whatever platform you're on. I see some people over there on my locals. Appreciate you. We're going to have to do a locals exclusive soon. But that said, it's good to see the numbers over here on YouTube. If you want to like the video and share it out, that will also help very, very much. So a lot of people were messaging me about this equipment thing, and I'm going to play it. It's like a 2-second statement that Tozi makes in his video. Now, in his video, largely he was providing updates that were my updates that I provided to the news outlets like Dexerto or whatever. I can never say them right. But obviously Dexerto ends up citing me, and then everybody ends up citing that article and then ends up reporting on it and putting information out. And I also know that there's smaller channels that just watch my streams or look at my streams and then create videos like a day or two after because they know I'm dropping the good stuff. They know I'm dropping the hot information. This was not hot information, but I guess it was made to sound like it was, and I guess some people didn't know. So let me play this like 10 seconds of this video so you guys hear it, and hopefully the audio works just fine here. Let me play this part. This is from his stream a couple days ago. Disrespectful IRL streamer now regrets going to Korea.
And told me the police seized all of his equipment, which includes his phone and his hit me up and told me everything. And then the icing of the cake is one of his old moderators hit me up.
So one of his old moderators is Fab, is definitely Fabarius, who is the guest on my channel, who's been talking to me for quite a while now. Fab has been helping for a while, even before he came on. So it wasn't like when I had Fab on was the first time we interacted. We were interacting for quite a while before he ended up coming on. So don't make it seem like that was our first interaction or none of the information was coming from Fab. Now, Fab is not my only source. I have many sources, but he certainly has been one source, of course. And he's one that people now know and see and can verify, oh yeah, this guy knew Johnny Somali, right? So it was Fab, right? So let's continue.
Up and told me the police seized all of his equipment, which includes his phone and his computer. So he can't make money, and legally.
So, okay. So people were saying, oh, they seized all his stuff. How is he streaming? Oh, the videos have to all be old videos. Well, some of them aren't, because here's the thing. You can obviously log into your social media. You can make social media accounts. You can do anything from somebody else's phone or from somebody else's equipment. So yes, his phones were seized. In fact, I mentioned that on several streams that he was using Hank's quote unquote burner phone or Hank's second phone or other phones that were given to him by people in Korea. So he's been using kind of other phones. So his personal phones, he has 2, were taken by the police. His camera was taken by police. So that was taken. Now that becomes relevant when it comes to deepfakes. We'll get back to that. But he can still obviously take another phone, grab another phone, and then start making content with that. So obviously it's possible for him to do it. Now, whether or not he should be doing that is another question, particularly since the eyes of the world are on him, since he has police investigations, since his visa exemption is expiring, and he'll have to get another type of visa, right, to be there, which explicitly bars you from working while you're there. So once again, he could be violating the terms of that visa if he's streaming and profiting from it on a visa where you're explicitly not supposed to be making any money, right? So that's going to be a different scenario for him and a different analysis for him as it goes forward. So it's definitely something that is a problem, and definitely, of course, it's bad for him, right? I mean, people didn't know about that, and a lot of people weren't familiar with that. Now, one reason why I've been so bullish on thinking the deep fake charges are going through is because they took his phones and his camera. If this was just going to be a case where they only cared about obstruction of business, and they only cared about that and that alone, and that's all they cared about, was then when he threw his ramen, when he was rude to the old lady, they've got enough proof for that. They don't need his phone. They don't need his camera. They don't need anything, right? They would just be able to prove that. It's kind of a slam dunk. They'd be able to prove that with the evidence they had without his camera or his phone. It is rare. And this is something I know, once again, talking to Korean lawyers, talking to people with influence with the Korean legal system, experience with the Korean legal system, that say they would not take those phones if they were not seriously investigating other charges, right? So that is something that is good news. But it's not necessarily new news, right? It's something that we've kind of, at least I've known for a while. I guess I want to make it clear that I know it. A lot of people were asking, did you see it? Did you see it? Yes. I am aware of all interviews. I'm aware of all this stuff. I get told about it by about 20 people as soon as stuff comes out. I appreciate it. By the way, continue to email me, continue to send it, because there's a chance you might be the first person, but I am aware of it, just to let you guys know. All right, I'm going to take some of these super chats. Then we're going to get into, well, actually, I'll make one more comment. So the deep fakes is a huge issue. Johnny or Ramsey, should I say, is very afraid of these charges. He is very fearful of these charges because he is not just in possession of, but he broadcasted several deep fakes, which elevates it in the severity. Now, a lot of people have said, well, what if he tries to claim that the deepfakes were made by his Discord, and they were not made by his himself. Well, that doesn't actually remove him from liability. In fact, it actually can make things even worse in a sense, right? Because he went out and broadcasted them, right? He went out and not only possessed it, but he broadcasted it to a wider audience, right? So it's bad. It's very bad. Possession alone is a crime, though. So possession of a deepfake, so this is a possession crime. Possession of a deepfake possession of a deepfake in South Korea is a crime. If it's sexual, that makes it worse. If you broadcast it, that makes it worse. Or distribute it, that makes it worse. So do you see this kind of going up the ladder here? And that may be the silver bullet. That may be the one that gets him. That may be the one that gets him. All right. And by the way, we're going to have another episode. There's a lot of stuff developing on the deepfake front, but I don't want to spoil it right now. And there's a lot of things right now that sometimes that I could report, but they're not fully developed. In fact, today's topic, we're going to get into Hank. And yes, I'm aware of the K-Town interview. In fact, we may or may not, I'm going to do a poll at the end after we've gone through everything but the interview itself, whether you guys want to do a full watch through of the interview. So this is going to be really interactive, for you guys, in terms of being able to decide whether you want to see the whole thing. Once we've gone through all of the stuff, because we're going to go through all the stuff on Hank today, his court cases that went all the way up in federal court. We're going to go through his videos, some of the evidence, some of the text messages, some really interesting stuff on Hank. And after all that, if you guys want to see the whole interview, we'll gauge it out then. We'll gauge it out. And for those that are more ADHD, if you want to watch up until that point, and then that's the point at which you want to, catch the replay or catch the clips, that's cool. I'm cool with that. All right. Let me get to super chats, and we're going to continue here. And I'll go from largest to smallest. So Andres with 1,000 Argentina said, hey, gorgeous. I guess Johnny will be on trial tour for 5 years and 50 years of cabbage plantation. There are other IRL streamers wanting to take his place. Neon just faked to kicking his friends from a house in Jamaica and getting choked by them and being awful to locals. Well, and I want to be very clear. If any of them gets arrested, sure, I will cover that. But in terms of the IRL streamers, I'm not necessarily out to out to get them before they've committed crimes or before they've done something criminal. If they're being rude, of course, that's bad. That's not good. If they're being offensive, I don't support that. I oftentimes see people doing dumb stuff in Japan and Korea and other places. And I'm fully against that. I fully stand against that. But I don't necessarily cover every dumb thing that people do out there until it goes into the criminal realm. When it moves over to the criminal realm, that's when I say, okay, it's time for legal mindset, right? So that's typically when I cover stuff. So if there's something that's moved into the criminal realm, it's moved into the legal realm, I'm happy to cover it, right? I'm happy to cover it. And some of them may be on the edge there. And like I've said before, I think some of these IRL streamers are going to be arrested as well at some point. I also think the laws are going to change in order to prevent a lot of this. And even Johnny Somali himself has said, I am going to cause the laws to change, and I'm going to be the one that gets IRL banned. Well, IRL is not going to be totally banned. It's just going to be a certain brand of IRL that is going to be harder to do. Johnny Somali or Ramzi Khalid Ismail's brand of IRL streaming, which is a good thing. Phoenix Diaz says late for the opening, but still here for the captions. Awesome. And by the way, I'm going to do a little poll in the chat because I want to make sure, is the sound levels good today? I'll just say perfect, low, or high, right? How am I coming in? Am I good, perfect, low, high? I do have my Ko-Fi up for a new mic. I'm going to get I want to get a super high quality mic. So I've got something that's like really, really Chad. Oh wait, did somebody already fund this? Chris, thank you for funding. Chris, goddamn it, you already funded this in one go. Thank you so much, Chris. I didn't even notice, I didn't even check. Thank you, Chris, for funding the new mic. Appreciate it. I got to go buy a new mic tomorrow. Thank you, Chris, for funding that. Thank you so much. But hopefully the levels are all right on this one. I did a lot of tweaking before this, and really made sure that that I had everything patched and downloaded to make sure it was all right. So hopefully it's good. The poll says it's perfect, 91. Okay, cool. We're also using the stand today, so I don't have to hold anything. All right. Let's see. Bert Troll said, I'm watching Nux at the same time as watching this video. I'm stuck between my lawyer Oshi and my KS Oshi. Yeah, Nux wanted me to come on to review a legal video, but it was so stupid that I essentially summed it up to him that look, man, legal stopped being legal like 3 years ago. So there's really nothing for me to cover from a legal perspective. It's just me making personal comments, and I don't need to do that. Ice Princess Bubble said Hank interviewed, replied he hated Gen Xers. Yeah, we're gonna watch some of that later. And there's a lot of people that are rebuking that. And Hank is getting a lot of pushback and a lot of pressure right now. We're gonna talk about why. Stephen Brown says, Merry Christmas to you, and hope everyone's doing well. You know what's crazy, guys? I know people think, Asia, I'm in Thailand right now, majority Buddhist, of course, even Japan, other places. You'd think that Christmas wouldn't be that big of a thing. Christmas is huge here. There are Christmas decorations everywhere. They love Christmas. Christmas is so loved. So, and you know what else is funny? No one takes offense to you saying Merry Christmas. Isn't it weird? You'd think like in other cultures, right? Because it's like, oh, they get offended. Nobody's offended by it. It's great. I love it. So happy. I'm going around singing Christmas songs. I love Christmas music. I'm singing Christmas songs all around. I'm just in a jolly mood. I'm in a jolly mood this season. It's great. Call me Canny says another month, another Ramsey miserable. Merry Christmas to you too. Sinsatar Luchai for 1. Thank you so much for that. Talented X as a new member. Welcome. Billy Aoki said feet reveal. Oops, Wong stream. Go back to the VTubers. But by the way, congratulations to everybody who won the VTuber awards. I saw Doki won a lot. There were a couple of people. Fauna won, and congratulations. I mean, obviously she's going to graduate, but good on the wins there. And everybody else who won there on the VTuber awards. Call me Katie. Also gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Phoenix for 10 says Hank is still culpable with his actions with Johnny. So you guys are going to see this in my J Company interview, and I don't want to spoil too much, but in my interview with J Company, and I'm sure the other Korean folks will say this as well that I'm going to interview at the end of the week. J Company said that he actually finds Hank more culpable than Johnny. because he knew better and he enabled it. So the thing is that Johnny could play the card he didn't know. By the way, we all know, and we have the proof, he did know. He's known the entire time, particularly regarding the statue, regarding what he was doing. He knew the whole time, but at least he could pretend, and some people might believe him. But Hank knew. Hank knew. Right? I see in the chat, bow, bow. What's up? See, I love all the VTuber fans in the chat. I love it. I love it. Appreciate all you guys. You guys are great. Ivan Young says, hi, will you be reacting to the Minecraft lawsuit spearheaded by Kian Burris? I will, but once again, I need time. So I have been asked to cover a lot of topics, and I tend to focus deeply on one. And then when I have spare time, I will cover other major topics. This is one a lot of people have asked me to react to, so I think I will do it. Now, it may be on a members multi-topic stream, but if you are at least at the basic level of membership, you'll have access to those. A lot of the streams on other topics are on members only. So that's one of the advantages, is that you get access to those streams. And I do at least 2 a month, but this month there'll probably be 3, maybe even 4. So strap in for that one. Goofball Gorgon. Utsahia says, I hope Ramsey likes cabbage because that'll be his Christmas dinner. Oh, it's great. Now, kimchi is delicious. Don't get me wrong. I love it. In fact, I think Ramsey doesn't deserve the cabbages. I think the cabbages are better than Ramsey. Right? He should be thankful to farm them, to be honest. Burnt Troll for 10 said a collab with Nux could be called Law and Chaos for content you would actually like. Nux was talking about a war crime tier list. You could help him make it a reality. Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. That might be funny. Chaos Sonic says, are we going to make sure Hank gets the cabbage treatment like Johnny? Well, Hank is a different situation. Now, mind you, Hank is not currently charged with many crimes, although he does have maybe 1 or 2 things he may be investigated for. That's true. However, he's not as in the deep stuff as Johnny. Now he's trying to be. Now we're gonna talk about this in a second. He's trying to get more legally involved, but he currently isn't. And that's actually part of why we're doing this episode today, because there's been a lot of updates on what's going on behind the scenes with Hank, and you guys need to know this because this is really fascinating. And it's also why you're seeing him do these interviews, because he is getting destroyed. Now, a lot of this information that's coming out there hasn't been seen by many people. But of course, after my show, you know that everybody who talks Johnny Somali is going to be talking about Hank Yu. Guyvin Young, as a new member, welcome. Appreciate that. Norbert Fallish for 5 for Fumf Oidel says, is it possible you can be prosecuted according to Korean defamation laws for ridiculing Johnny Somali, provided John Somali can afford a lawyer to press charges? Yeah, if he wants to go and serve me while I'm in Korea for defamation, he could try. Remember, and I say this in the U.S. context, and it's true in many countries, anybody can try to sue somebody, right? I can file any claim against anybody in the U.S., even whatever. It could be I could file it. That doesn't mean it's going to work, right? So could somebody file? Sure, right? Anybody can file something, right? And now there's some requirements to file. Now Korea, there's a lot of requirements to file. It also costs a lot of money to hire a lawyer. And as we're going to find out, money is a thing that they are lacking. Hank and Johnny are severely lacking in funds, extremely lacking in funds. And this is a big problem for them, because if they want to go around suing people, they're going to need, I'm not joking, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to sue everyone they want to sue, right? And that's not to say anything about the level of success, right? That's not to say anything about the level of success. So, yeah. And once again, thank you to everybody who's been so nice as to like the video. I do appreciate it. We've only got, though, at this point, about 500 likes, and we've got 2,500 people. So if you guys could like the video, it's free. I'd appreciate it. I'd deeply appreciate it. So, yeah, they can try. They'll fail, by the way. They will fail. Right? Bartimus Aurelius is not complaining, just a little surprised Chad has been memeing Johnny as a cotton picker. I don't expect the cabbage meme to be so popular. Well, cabbage is a top crop. Now, we've mentioned that cotton is the 13th crop, right? But of course, people have tried to say, well, you're trying to be racist and make that implication, right? Which isn't the implication at all, right? Cabbage is related to kimchi. It's a top crop, right? I mean, obviously, like, it's a clear thing, right? People make the jokes. They're jokes. I read the super chats. A laugh, right? But this is really a coalition. The people that are united against Johnny are of all backgrounds, creeds, politics, everybody. And this is something that really unites everybody. Somalians don't like him because he uses Johnny Somali, and he's not even Somali. He claims to be Jewish, right? He's not Jewish. Ismail, Muslim background, right? Islamic background. Not whether or not he professes that faith himself is totally aside. And by the way, I would say he's really not doing a good job as a practicing Muslim if he's actually trying to prescribe by that. But that said, yeah, he goes by many titles that he is not, right? He says he's right and acts left. He says he's left and acts right. He does, he goes all sorts of directions, whatever the wind can benefit him and whoever he can piss off. And he does the best to try to divide people. And the one thing you can't let him do is divide you, right? At the end of the day, he is the one who did these bad things, right? And he is the one that is on trial here. And it's great. It's awesome that there's such a coalition against him. I think it's great. Lenmar says, hey, Andrew, given that Johnny Somali size like a 12-year-old, he might be best suited to work in a factory making smartphones from 8 to 6 every day. Horrible. But I don't think he's got the stamina. All right, let's get into talking about Hank. Now, we're going to go on a little bit of a deep dive in here, a little bit of his backstory. Now, of course, Hank is a Korean. He's South Korean. And he, for a time, lived in the United States. Now, this is going to go into his backstory. Now, why am I doing this? Let me say this. Start here. And this is where the Hank content gets deep. We're doing this because this stuff that Johnny has done in Korea would not be possible without allies that were in Korea. If he didn't have people in Korea that were helping him, he would never have been able to do this. He would never have been able to get this far. He would have failed out. He would have been buffed out. He would have been arrested quickly. In fact, if Hank was not there when the police came several times, I guarantee you this would have been stopped earlier. If it was just Johnny, he would have been stopped earlier. However, it was not. And that actually did help Johnny materially. In addition, he was giving Johnny essentially legal advice, essentially telling him what was legal and not legal. When we watched the ABC Pizza video, we saw repeatedly Hank said to Johnny, hey, if you disrupt their business, right, they can sue you. If you make them lose money, they can sue you. Right? He was telling him like, hey. In other cases, he was actually, even in the fireworks video, he was saying, hey, watch the tree, because if you burnt the tree, that could be criminal, right? So there were there was things along the way. You can see that Hank was like wary of crimes. He's very aware of what is criminal and what is not. Now, that very much helped him. But that caused people to ask, well, who is Hank? Who is this guy that was helping him? What's his background? Who is he? Where does he come from? And I'm going to give this kind of without bias in terms of just a little bit of the background here. And there is some stuff I know that some people are going to have some reactions and some feelings about. And I would just say, once again, this is not to make a political comment on any of this, stuff from the U.S. side, right? But it's more to just show you, okay, this is who Hank is, and this is the type of person who is coming into this scenario, right? So most people knew Hank. Hank was actually a little bit of an internet meme before he came to the Johnny Somali situation. So many people recognized him for some of his, let's call it cosplay. So here's Hank over here, and a little bit of his reenactment. I don't know whether he actually did real reenactment or not, but a little bit of his reenactment there. Now his real name is Han Jung Yu, right? He's called Hank. Most people call him Hank, but his real name is Han Jung Yu. just so you guys know. And then I'll play another one here. There's another little clip of him that was very infamous. Once again, these were very infamous images that were shared around before. Now, regardless of how you may feel about his ability to, dress up in a tri-corner hat and throw an American flag up, and perhaps some interesting flags there in the background. But that said, that was what he was doing in the United States. Also, there's a very interesting video of him here. Let me play this one here. This is very interesting little video of Hank. Okay, little bit of stuff over here. Okay, so we're gonna play this video. I'm just gonna play a couple seconds of this one. Here's old Hank doing some twirling. So let me get the.
Fuck the Black Lives Matter. Dixie two arms.
Okay, so I'm not gonna sit through the Dixie theme that he plays after that, but essentially he was making some videos online, and one of the reasons why he was doing this, and why I think he engaged with Johnny Somali is he became sort of like an internet he kind of blew up on being a little bit of a meme, right? He made some like statements, some like racially charged statements, and that went viral. And this happens with a lot of people on the internet. And frankly, it's not just Hank, it's a lot of people. Well, they'll do one thing and they'll blow up. The best example of this is like, he's like the South Korean version of the Hawk Tuah girl, right? You guys all know the Hawk Tuah girl, right? I'm sure you know the Hawk Tuah girl. But he's kind of like the South Korean Hawk Tuah girl. Like he had his little moment for doing something controversial. Now he's made, racially charged statements, other stuff like that, that got him his bump in subs. Of course, he then got banned off of YouTube. So he had a YouTube, I guess, that hit at some point, 300K subs, which can happen if you have a viral moment. If you have a viral moment, you can all of a sudden jump up in subs. The problem is with viral moments like Hawk Tuah is when you try to make them into a thing, when you try to make that into an entire personality and a thing. And obviously with Hawk Tuah girl, she now may have to deal with the SEC because she's, maybe doing some stuff with crypto that was kind of scammy, right? I mean, you can look over to CoffeeZilla, who does good coverage on that. And everybody else, right? She tried to make a podcast, trying to make something out, try to stretch that 15 seconds of fame, that TikTok, into a lifetime. And look, I don't blame anybody for trying to do that, but if that's your whole personality, then, it's kind of difficult. Now with Hank, if making a crazy statement is your entire personality, we'll understand that the problem with that is a lot of platforms are going to ban you. Right? Because obviously if you said something offensive, if you said something that's like beyond the pale, that's going to get you banned. That's going to get you banned. And welcome Lemon Twist as a member. Appreciate you. So he did that, but beyond that, he actually committed some crimes in the United States. Now, a lot of people will point out that I am not a South Korean lawyer. I am not. However, I am an American lawyer, and I am very equipped to review American cases. And in fact, federal cases are entirely within my purview. So we are now going to review, we have two cases right now involving Han Jong-yu. And you guys can look these up at home. For those keeping track, you can look at this up. This is in the Fifth Court of Appeals, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, United States versus Han Jong-yu 2020. This is Hank. This is his U.S. case. I don't think anybody has pulled this up at this point. I think I'm the first one. And of course, this is public information. Under the U.S. law, this is clearly not, this is something that's absolutely not defamation because it's part of public record, right? And we're just going to read through it. And we're not going to do a PowerPoint. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to read the background and and then we're going to read some of the conclusions because there's two different ones here. But let's read what he was convicted of. Han Jong-yu was convicted on 8 counts under the Gun Control Act, 7 counts of making false statements to a federally licensed gun dealer in violation of 18 U.S.C. 924 and 1 count of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person in violation of Section 922. Because the evidence was sufficient to establish each element of 924, we affirm his conviction on 1 through 7. But because Yu was not committed to a mental institution within the meaning of 922, we reverse the judgment of conviction. So this is important. Hank, or Han Jong-yu, was saying that he was committed to a mental institution. That was a material part of the findings. So let's read the background here, because this is very interesting. Han Jong-yu was, and by the way, I'm reading this neutrally, regardless of how I feel about about the Gun Control Act and federal gun laws. I'm just reading this out, right? I'm not giving my really opinion on any of that. Han Jong-yu was involuntarily committed to treatment under New Jersey's temporary ex parte procedure twice. So involuntarily committed against his will. First, in August of 2013, you agreed to be transported to Rutgers University Police Department, RUPD, to a hospital for evaluation. There, a screener, a physician, and a psychiatrist determined that you met the criteria for mental illness, was a danger to himself and others, and should be involuntarily committed to a mental institution. Based on their certifications, a New Jersey Superior Court judge found probable cause to believe that you was in need of involuntary commitment. The judge issued a temporary order for involuntary commitment of adult, ordering that you be committed to a hospital pending a court hearing. In about 2 weeks, you was discharged from the hospital 4 days before the scheduled hearing. RUPD took you to a hospital for another evaluation in 2015. So 2 years later, Rutgers took him in, right? Once again, a screener, physician, and psychiatrist determined that you met the criteria for mental illness and should be committed. And once again, a New Jersey Superior Court judge ordered that you be temporarily committed pending a court hearing 12 days later. You was discharged 6 days before a scheduled hearing. A few months later, in January 2016, you tried to buy a gun. But because the National Instant Criminal Background Check, NICS, revealed that you had been adjudicated as mentally deficient and committed to a mental institution, his purchase was denied. I love how people always say the system doesn't work, and then it does, and then, yeah. Anyways, that is a little bit of my opinion there, but that actually just shows the system, well, it worked. The FBI explained upon Yu's inquiry that he was a prohibited person under one of the 10 possible categories in Section 921 and 922, but did not specify which one applied. You kept trying, but often successfully, to buy firearms from 2016 to 2017. So he was able to actually buy some guns between 2016 and 2017. Each time he had to fill out a Form 4473 issued by the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. In response to the question on that form, you stated he was a citizen of the United States 7 times, right? So 7 different times he said he was a U.S. citizen. He correctly identified his country of citizenship as South Korea, not the United States, twice. So he is a South Korean citizen. He is not an American citizen. Yu was convicted of 8 crimes under the Gun Control Act, 7 counts of making a false statement to a federally licensed firearms dealer in violation of 924, and 1 count of possession by a prohibited person under 922. He appeals the conviction. This was his appeal. So let's go down to the bottom, because I'm not going to go through all of the logic here. So we conclude that Yu's temporary hospitalization based on an ex parte order signed without the hearing does not constitute commitment to a mental institution. So one of those was overturned because, you know, the temporary commitment wasn't actually meeting the statute, and that's kind of following the statute strictly. So the court says, okay, he didn't meet the actual legal definition of that, so we're reversing on that. But as to everything else, he's still affirmed. He's still in trouble. So that was his first court case. So mind you, once again, this is a first court case. Now, we're going to talk a lot today about money, and we're going to talk a lot today about the amount of money that Johnny has, the amount of money that Hank has. It's a very relevant question. These appeals, like this, are extremely expensive. There is no way that a person with no money could do them. It's impossible. You would need to be severely bankrolled to do this. This is not something that you could do for like $350, right? This is something that's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars. If not, this is the appellate court. So had to go to the district court. It could have cost $100,000. We don't really know the cost, but it's not 1,000. It would be at minimum somewhere $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. It's significant. The cost is significant. So especially if you've got an attorney, even if you're doing it pro se, which he wasn't, right? Which he wasn't, because you can see that here. He had a law firm. He had a law firm, right? The Von Cleef law firm, Longview, Texas. All right. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Was that his? No, yeah, that's his. That's his appellee as L. Charles Von Cleef, the Von Cleef law firm, Longview, Texas. So they represented him there. So he had a lawyer. He was not doing this pro se. So that's one lawsuit. But that wasn't the only one. We have another one. Yeah, we have another one. And it's just as recent as last year. Hank is still trying to get back in the U.S. He's still trying to fight to get back in the U.S. 2023, May 2023, literally last year, this was published. Han Jong-yu versus United States. So once again, he filed a motion to vacate his sentence under 28 U.S.C. 225. So he was convicted under those acts, right? And he tried to appeal. He got one thing knocked down, but the rest of it was affirmed, right? And we lay out the facts here. It also, this is an important fact here. Movement advised the court, and let's actually put it here. This is a really relevant fact. Movement advised the court he was deported to the Republic of Korea where he resides. So he was deported on 2021. So you can tell that Hank really, really wanted to get back. Once again, really wants to try to get back. So he makes similar arguments here, and I want to just kind of scroll down because it really, we want to get to the beef here. And he also argues, this is actually really hilarious. Let me see if I can find this. He tries to argue there was jury bias. This is a really funny argument. I have rarely seen this one. Okay, here's one. So he tries to argue. So this is a funny one. As an American attorney, he tries to argue that the judge made me swear to the Christian God, and I'm not a Christian. That was his argument. The argument was that in court, the judge was making him swear to the Christian God, and he's not a Christian, right? And that was a proof of jury bias. So that was going to, because it was a Texas case, and because everybody knows Texans are all Christians, right? This is Hank's argument. His lawyers made this argument, Hank made this argument, that because Hank is not a Christian, and because a judge tried to make him swear to the Christian God, that there was a jury bias. Actually, that wasn't what happened. And you actually get this is actually the transcript. So I'm going to read you guys the transcript. This is actually fucking hilarious. So this is the relevant part. And I'm going to do the voices. The court, call your next witness, Mr. Yu. That's it, sir. I would like to self-testify. The court says, take the stand. Mr. Yu says, may I testify from here? So let me pause. So right here, Hank is trying to testify from like where you stand with your lawyer, right? From the bench, right? Or sorry, not from the bench, from the prosecution stand or the lawyer's table, right? The plaintiff side, defensive side, they have kind of the tables, the judges at the front, and you have a witness stand. You need to come forward as a witness. So he's trying to tell the judge, first of all, self-testify is not the right term, right? Just, you're going to testify. Okay, I get it. And so, may I testify from here? No, the judge tells you to take the witness stand. He says, oh, well, I need to present. And so I think Hank has read some like sovereign citizen stuff. And if you guys know anything about sovereign citizens, they are the lolcows. They are the absolute jokes of the legal world. Some of my favorite streams to do, and I do, of course, court watching streams where I watch trials, I watch things. Some of the best ones are sovereign citizens or people that are sort of like sovereign citizens. They make crazy arguments. Those are some of the best. Those are some of the most fun cases. They're absolutely fascinating to watch. This is sort of like a sovereign citizen-y argument where he's going like, oh, I need to do this. He's like kind of telling the judge. Whenever you start telling the judge how things are going to go, you know you fucked up. You know you fucked up. So let's go here. The courts, so the judge says, you can take it to the witness stand if you raise your right hand and Miss Schroeder will swear you in. And this is oath administered. And then Mr. Yu says, I am not a Christian, ma'am, but I do solemnly affirm in the name of President Washington. By the name of good old George, I do affirm. Just so you guys know, you don't have to actually, just a real quick fact check here. You do not have to be a Christian to swear. You just have to say that what you're saying is truthful, right? Any so help me God or anything is essentially just a relic of a past day, right? It's not actually legally impactful whether or not you are religious, right? You just swear to tell the truth. That's pretty much it, right? You are promising you're going to tell the truth so that if you are lying, you could be convicted of perjury, right? That is the real important thing there, that you're saying what you're saying is true. Your religiosity is not there. In fact, if being religious could get you out of court, well, then that would get a lot of people out of court, right? Because a lot of people are non-religious, especially nowadays. Even many people who may have been born Christians or baptized don't really identify as that. Hold on, I'm going to take some water here. All this heresy and blasphemy is just getting me a little bit, a mite parched. Right. And it would really help my parched nature if you would smash the like button for the court. Thank you. Real quick here. I'm going to read some super chats and we're going to continue here with the rest of this. Phoenix says, Hank has besmirched the flag of Kekistan by putting it with the Aryan flag. Free the Pepes, Soju. Shout out. And yes, I will be doing my Soju stream. Don't you worry. Either when I'm back on my shorter trip or on my longer trip. That'll be members only. It'll be fun. We're just going to talk about stuff. It'll be real fun. Pinkie Pie for 2 Singapores says, have flowers been placed statue? Yes, and there'll be more. So it's not just one, but donation for the Mic Fund. Thank you for that. Trucker Rob said, howdy, Andrew. Howdy, Trucker Rob. Good to see you. JP Ravenfire for 5 says, technically the Bible says not to swear in it at all. Matthew 5:34-37. Yes, it does. Linux Guy for 5 says, Artie's Corporate Fiction is another lawyer focused on Saw Sit a lot. John Gall, too. Yeah, there's a lot of great people who cover that. My good friend Mike, Law Talk with Mike, he covers a lot of that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of great channels that cover that, far more than I do. But I just admit that they're very fun. That legal content is great. That is prime legal content. If you're a content creator and all you want to do is review sovereign citizens, you will have a fantastic time. And I would encourage people to do it. I think it's hilarious. Lenmar says, do you think Hank's got a chance of becoming a naturalized U.S. citizen? That's his dream. No, now he definitely doesn't. With all this stuff, no. It really is impacting his chances to ever even be back in the U.S., much less a naturalized citizen. Shoulder Troop. Atozi has a video of a Somalian guy who speaks on Tamale. Yeah, I've seen that one before. It's an older video. It's like a month or 2 or 3 old at this point. There was a lot of Somalians and even Ethiopians that have been coming at Somali. He went on X and people have been attacking him. I've seen that one. It's nothing new. Somalians have been very angry at him. And rightfully so. They should be, by the way, because he's besmirching the name of a lot of people that he's not. He's going around claiming he's Jewish when he's not. He's claiming he's, XYZ and he's not, right? He's claiming he's Kim Jong-un's homie. And well, that's also kind of a sticky wicket over there in Korea. I wouldn't mess with that one too much, but yeah. Ryobi says, I stand for the God Emperor of mankind. Well, I mean, I do love me some 40K. All right. So, end of this case, Rio, here's the recommendation. Oh, and sorry. Under the controlling standard, movement, that's Hank, must show that reasonable juries could debate whether or not the petition should be resolved in a different manner. Movement has not made any substantial showing of a denial of a constitutional right, nor has he shown that reasonable jurists could debate whether his motion to vacate or correct sentence should have been resolved in a different manner, or that issues presented are adequate to deserve encouragement to proceed further. Consequently, he is not entitled to a certificate of appealability. He was fucking wrecked in court. He was completely blown out of water. Guys, this case, this year in 2023, this is last year, would have been tens of thousands of dollars to go through and file and put together. So he's got some money from somewhere. Someone's paying for it, right? Someone's paying for it, which is very interesting. Because we've had information come out, and I know that the people out there in Johnny's super secret communications are salty about it. But you've got over here a comment from Hank, whose ID here is Petronius, which is actually, if you remember that video that we caught with the fireworks, he calls himself Petronius. And you see this message right here from Hank? You see his picture. You can see his picture here. So we're clearly here. It's Hank, right? So Hank says, yo, I need someone to send me some financial support. I am doing fucking terribly right now due to all these legal bullshit. This guy says, oh, you don't say. Me, after I searched your name online. I got like 40 NEETs. NEETs is like another word for hikikomori, not in education or not in education, employment, or training. So it's like people who are at home all day, which he's the NEET, right? He's the one who really doesn't have a job. It's kind of a loser. I've got like 40 NEETs conspiring against me. I need to hire a lawyer to crush them. So he's literally begging for money from Johnny's supporters. So he's actually going in, this is to Johnny's supporters and Johnny's community, and begging Johnny's community when Johnny has no money, when Johnny has no attorney. Johnny's has a public defender, which once again, public defenders aren't bad, but they're not the best. They're not the highest quality, right? Johnny doesn't have a top tier attorney. So he's begging Johnny's community for money when Johnny doesn't even have it. And what type of friend does this? You know? What type of friend? What type of friend, instead of thinking of you, is thinking of himself in his own legal case? And by the way, so he's trying to sue people for money. So he just wants to sue people so he can make some money. So he can get some money here. Right? That's the reason why he wants to sue people. Yeah, people say it correctly, a toxic one. Exactly, a toxic one. Alter Void says they're not sending their best. No, they're not. Carrie Dude says 31,000 watchers and only 933 likes. Rookie number. Only 933 likes?
No. Wait.
So we got to fix that, guys. Come on, get those numbers up. 2,000, let's do it. 2,000 likes. We can do this. Hit that like button. Well, no matter what device you're on, you've got a like button, right? Mobile, anywhere else. Vortex Cross says legal bullshit is expensive. Who knew? I know. It's almost like it's a bad idea to start suing people. So I can tell you guys from my experience and also being in Korea and maybe perhaps having lawyer fees as well and paid those. It's going to be for the standard retainer is going to be about 5,000 USD, right? USD, not Korean won. It's not Ochan won. No, it's 5,000 US dollars, right? So that is a significant amount of money in Korea. It's a lot of money, and it's money that frankly Hank doesn't have. Right. So he's messing around with he's wanting to sue 40 people. So let's do the math on that real quick. And I don't math so good. So I'm going to use me a good old fashioned calculator and just go 5,000 times 40. What is that? That is 200,000 US dollars. So he wants the cost of a house of a house in the US to sue 40 people. And for what? And by the way, and this is something that I'm kind of, learning more about. When you sue people in Korea, you don't necessarily get the money back. Most of the time, even if they're ordered to pay a fine, it's a fine to the government. It's not a fine to you. So they'll pay the government, but you don't necessarily get money back. So you're going to sue all these people and you're just going to throw money into the grinder essentially. Right? Yeah. As people say, the average house cost is over $400K. Sorry guys. I haven't been in the US market for a while. Maybe in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. Somewhere out there. But 200,000. Crazy, right? Also, thank you, Uncreative Deconstructionism, for $1. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So obviously this created a little bit of commotion. Also, there were some other statements that were a little bit controversial, right? So Hank made another one here. This is one of his super secret messages. So people are asking, how's the legal situation going? And he says, good for me, bad for Johnny. Good for me, bad for Johnny. He's retarded, but 10 years seems excessive. That's somebody responding to Hank. And then Hank saying, well, most likely Johnny won't go to prison. Most likely, but he didn't say for sure. Because even he knows that it's not looking good at this point because they're stacking charges and more are coming. Even he knows. Even Hank is admitting. His, unofficial legal expert here is admitting that there's some trouble. Now, there's obviously been, and guys, I'm aware of the K-Town interview. A lot of people are emailing me that. I'm aware of it. And at the end of this, we're going to go through some clips including some clips that have that as a part of it, like it's as a section of the kind of coverage. So in fact, should I play this one first? This one's an interesting one. It's kind of a compilation. So a lot of people have been pushing back against him and kind of compiling his statements against him. And I'm just going to play. In fact, we'll do the YouTube one first. There's a lot of this stuff is on Rumble, but this is a really interesting compilation. Let's just say. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure this is. Okay. Hopefully, I don't get copyright struck because there's a little bit of K-pop in the beginning here. So I'm going to pull this up, guys. It's a little bit of a compilation. So strap in. There's a little bit of offensive language here, a little bit of spicy content. So this is a compilation that someone made, The Truth About Hank, right? And it's got a compilation of the video as well as some statements by Hank, right? Okay, let's continue.
I want some money.
Okay, call the cops. I don't care, Hank. It's a content.
Right,
call him.
Call the cops.
Call him. Okay, you call him, Hank. I don't think we should call him.
So he was there saying he wants money or he will call the cops. So constantly what you're going to see as the theme is Hank needs money.
Police. We came here, nigga. There's no reason to call the police. That's bitch nigga shit to call the police. Nope.
So even Ramsey Khalid Ismail, the Golden Goblin, is calling Hank a bitch for, in his words, not even mine, his words. That's Ramsey Khalid Ismail's words. For calling the cops. And he wants to call the cops on people whose house they showed up at. Think about that for a second. They showed up and harassed these people. We saw this video with fireworks, with everything else. And Hank wants to be called the cops, and Ramsey calls them out. Very hilarious.
Don't call the police.
I want some money.
You want some money?
He wants money. See, and you're going to see this as a theme. Hank is broke as hell.
You're not calling the cops, Chad. That's some bitch nigga shit. Why would I call? I don't call. Johnny Somali does not call cops. I even told Hank, we're not calling no fucking cops. What the fuck?
He's literally on the phone with them. So this is in the car actually as they're moving around same night.
I'll give him that.
I want some legal.
But I'm learning where the line is.
Yo, listen.
I'm gay. I want to be overtly gay all the time. I want to suck dick and fuck dudes in the ass. For pay, money.
Disclaimer, these are the words of Hank Yu. These are not my words. And once again, I have no problem with any of the comments that he makes in terms of his sexual orientation. He's allowed to be, loud and proud. But this is video that was indeed shot and compiled of Hank himself. So let's continue here. Continue here. Right.
You know why? Because if someone actually pays me for gay sex, his dick smells like money. His cum smells like money. You know, all I smell at that point is money. So 3,000 for sucky sucky and 10,000 for fucky fucky.
Hank.
Let me clarify once again. I have no problem with the sexual orientation. I'm actually focusing more on that statement on the money part, right? I have no problem with anybody. You can do whatever you want. That's not a problem at all. My focus there is the financial compensation, and obviously he needs it here, right? It's becoming clear he needs it here, and you know, what are you willing to do for the legal fees?
You pussy, you're broke and you live off your mommy in your 30s. You're a disgrace. Nobody is conspiring against you, and even if someone was, you would just sue them. Digital pen.
Yep. It's true. He does sue. He sues pretty much everybody he can. Everybody he can get his hands on.
Handling, e-begging Hank. Broke ass, fat clown, snitch, liar.
I wish they did not play K-pop as part of that compilation.
I love you, bro. I love you, bro. I'll see you tomorrow, bro.
Okay, that's they can do a little deep fake, so I want to skip the deep fake here. Let's skip the deep fake. Right. Oh, here you go. So Shiro said, have you considered your future VTuber model to be based off one of the ordos of the Inquisition of Mankind from 40K? Also, do you see the VTuber awards? I did not watch them. I'm going to watch the replay, but I do like 40K. Let's continue.
Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, bro. You're a piece of shit. Honestly.
But I smashed a lady boy a couple times. I'm being honest. Well,
Oh yeah, that actually was the Ladyboy clip, because I didn't actually know about that till somebody told me about that. But I guess Ramsey like confirmed that, and several times, I guess. So I didn't want to say it because I didn't know, and it's not really relevant at all. But yeah, I guess that's that like confirmed. Once again, I don't care. That's not relevant legally.
EBZ there. I got a lady boy that want to fuck EBZ. Oh, I can't say that. Oh, if that nigga sees,
I mean, yeah, you gonna tough luck getting them banned.
Oh, okay. And you think ABC is not watching your stream?
It's because of the Korea incident. Because motherfucking Johnny tried to fucking frame me for his shitty fucking actions, bro. So just to kind of clarify, I would have never been in sub mode, but this motherfucker tried to put his shit on me because he wanted to fucking share his blame. Fuck that pussy, bro.
So literally, everybody who knows Johnny is turning on Johnny, right? Is turning on Johnny. Let me just put it here. Hold on, there's another clip here. I'll move on here. Okay. So here we go. So there's this other bit here that shows who called the cops. Of course, it was always Hank, right? Hank was always the one who called cops.
Honestly, he's been totally lying.
What's up? I called the cops.
And this is, I believe this is Bang TV. I'm going to be interviewing him this week. So he's one of the people that was there. So yeah, that's his car right there. Yeah, this is Bang TV. This is Bang TV. So clearly the person who called the cops here is Hank, right? Hank's always the one who called the cops, right? In every single incident.
They're calling me right now. What's up, message?
Nani?
What's up? I called the cops. They're calling me right now. What's up, message?
Is a motherfucking liar.
So Hank a lot of times would say he wasn't the one to call the cops. He doesn't snitch to the cops, but repeatedly he's been the one who actually does call the cops, right? And you can kind of see that over here. Here you go.
Hank, you got something in his pocket, Hank. Hank, you got something in his pocket. What you have? Knife? You have a knife? Knife?
Get lost. Get the fuck on. Come on. Get lost. Bitch ass nigga.
In Korea, Zoomers are the best. 이러니까 한국에서 신세대가 최고고.
Yeah, so Hank talks about being a Zoomer and being Gen Z, but he is definitely not Gen Z. He's 32. Which, by the way, I don't care what your age is. I love everybody. I mean, everybody of every age is cool to me, but he's 32, right? He's definitely not a Zoomer, right? Not even close. Not even close. He's 24, right? So not even remotely close to being a Zoomer. Let me put it over here, and I'm going to scroll ahead here for a second. There's a very interesting moment here. Oh, yeah. So here's another big deal in Korea. So a big deal in Korea is whether or not you went to the army, right? Hank did not, right?
Anonymous sent $3. Hank, you are all toxic. Sprayed you down like a misbehaving cat, and you ran away from her with your tail between your legs.
What? Is that you got? Let's not run like we got a tail between our legs. Let's pull back up. Call the cops. Let's pull back up.
Let's hear it again. Sent $3. Hank, you are all toxic. Sprayed you down like a misbehaving cat, and you ran away from her with your tail between your legs.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. And oh yeah, here's the clip I really want to show. This is the best part.
Money, dude.
Whatever you do, I cannot control you. I told you not to call the fucking.
Why should I call the cops?
Don't.
Give me a reason why.
Cause then we snitches. We don't snitch.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
Don't call the cops. That's pussy shit.
I want some money, man.
We not snitch.
So okay. He says, "Why shouldn't I call the cops?" And he's saying, "I want money." And listen to how much money he's complaining over. Okay, this is the best part.
Snitches, nigga. Let's go. We don't snitch.
I want some money.
We don't call the cops on nobody.
I want some money.
You want some money?
I'm calling cops.
I'm not.
Did that part not have it in it? Okay, that part cut away. There's another clip of him asking. I'm going to show you guys the car scene. He asked for a very specific amount of money, and it's so low. It's crazy.
Not.
I'm not going to jail, bro.
Don't call police, Hank.
Money. Give me money. Or.
Oh my. Hank, the proud woman beater. When did you ever beat a woman?
Hey, Zena's gonna fight me at my gym.
Yeah, that's very embarrassing. Like once again wanting to challenge Xena, right? Xena, right? A girl who's like so much smaller than him. Right. Hold on. Let's put here. Okay. I think it is in this last part. Let me see if I can find this last clip here. Okay, I think it's here. All right.
Please send us one.
I fucking dropped.
Oh, here we go.
10,000 too. Oh, fuel, man.
All right, bet. Hey, Tat. I
Here we
don't
go.
know how
Here we
I
go.
find these psychopathic niggas in every cut.
I get fuel, man.
All right, bet. I got cash. Go to the gas station. I got cash.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I paid a lot of tolls too, you know.
I got you.
The tolls are like a couple dollars. So he's wanting him to chip in for like, and which is reasonable. By the way, it is reasonable to ask somebody to chip in for gas and tolls, right? But it's like it's not a huge amount of money, right? It's not a huge amount of money. But let's see. He's going to complain about a very specific amount of money right now.
I'll pay all the tolls, bro.
And I also lost 10,001.
How'd you lose 10,001?
I fucking dropped it somewhere. I don't know. Fuck, man.
What? That's not my fault.
That's not your fault.
Yeah, that's not my fault. You can't blame that. The tolls, I'll pay for the tolls and the gas.
I was like hurting my ass. So like, donation's gonna easily cover the 10,001, right?
Yes, for sure. I'll give you 25% of what I made tonight. I'll calculate it tomorrow.
All right. Well,
So right there, 10,001. And in case you guys don't know, I'm gonna do a little quick calculation for you guys. In case you guys don't know, at the current exchange rate, because it actually has dropped down quite significantly. God, sorry, I'm gonna flashbang you guys. I'm sorry. Well, hold on. Can I make this dark mode? Can I make this dark mode real quick? Okay, I'm gonna flashbang you guys a little bit. Sorry about that. So guard your eyes a little bit on this one. But 10,001 right now is 6.97 USD. It's $7, right? Literally busting him up over $7. $7 US. Insane. saying. Now, yes, he was saying it was his fault he lost it, but what I'm saying, once again, it's all about the money, right? And you don't argue about that unless you've got some serious money issues, right? You've got some serious money concerns. So, of course, Hank was not very happy about these videos. In fact, this was his response, I believe, to this video or another similar video about that. This is him over here, Rising Eagle 93, who posted LMAO Defamation 101 over here. I'm Hank Yu, and I'm telling you, all of you, to unsubscribe. So Hank, obviously, once again, he's trying to bully people with like Korean laws. And this is like, he's kind of like Niji Sanji. I see someone mention Niji Sanji here. Niji lawyers get paid more. Yeah. He's trying to use Niji Sanji logic, which is, I'm going to use Asian defamation laws against Americans. Because a lot of the people that are posting this are in America, or they're like Kyopo or whatever else. And a lot of the people that are mad about this are abroad. So he's trying to take those laws from Korea and apply them abroad. And by the way, most of this would not be defamatory because it's public interest, right? Because it's clearly public interest for the public footage of Ramzi Khalid Ismail, who's on trial to be played. And most of these statements are from public statements or things that are said in Discord to an open group of people, right? Once again, about irrelevant persons. So these are things that are of public interest. So even under Korean law, these things would probably be permitted, right? But he's trying to take this and apply it abroad, and it's just not going to work, right? And his demand for everybody to unsubscribe is not going to work. Jiwon Emma Yoon, hey, thank you, Gamsamnida, for the manwan, right? If this was Hank would be very mad about. Hank is probably very mad that I got the 10,000 that he lost, right? He's very mad about that, about the manwan, but do appreciate that. Something like that. Says, I hired a lawyer in Korea, it costs over $1 million. Yeah. Oh, for sure. In Korean won, you're talking about like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. Like, it's going to cost a lot, even for basic stuff for a lawyer to do, right? Lawyers are very expensive. They're not cheap, and their work is intense, you know? Phoenix Diaz says, would it be funny to see Hank's chats entered into evidence just to see the look on Ramsey's face? Hank, a true blue falcon, pulling an et tu, Brute, I'd to March. Well, the other thing too is a lot of these people, these channels, they're offering him money. Now, I'm not doing it, but they're doing it. So, Hank, if you need money, a lot of these people are willing to pay you. So you should reach out to a lot of these people contacting you, hitting you up, Hank, because there are people, smaller channels or whatever else, that would love to get you on and get you to flip on Johnny and just tell the truth. And maybe they're willing to help you out a little bit. Break you off. Geodax or Lodat Sax says, I arrived late. So I'm asking, what did I vomit? What did I come into? Vomit into? Okay. Well, anyways, you came into Hank U. We're in the Hank U story right now. Hello Millennium says for 10. Here's about 14K Korean won. I know it's a lot. Don't spend. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna spend that all on tteokbokki because as soon as I get back, I'm getting some tteokbokki. I'm really fiending for some tteokbokki. Really fiending for it. I love it. Actually, there's really good Korean food in Bangkok. I'm not gonna lie, but nothing like the soul stuff. Phoenix Diaz for 10 Canadian says, so if Hank was to get paid like a Niji lawyer, so 2% of $6, that's funny. 1%. King Lugia says, best 6 Malaysian ringgit I spent asking about mod. Yeah, exactly. You spent you're very efficient with your spending, King Lugia. I do appreciate you, brother. Ryobi says, so Hank wants a Niji salary. Yes. Huevos Unlimited for 50 Mexican. Gracias. Said the dynamic between Johnny and Hank is basically the same as a dynamic between an OnlyFans e-girl and her simp mod. Oh, God. I can't. Oh my! You can't think you got me there. You got me there. Oh wow! I can't even move on after that one. That's too good. Who's the e-girl and who's the simp mod? I guess Hank is through the simp mod, right? So Hank is a simp mod and Ramsey is the e-girl. Oh boy. Kayla Jane says, here, have the equivalent of Manwan just to spite Hank. Thank you so much for the 30 Polish zloty. Dziękuję. Or Jinky. Right. I like the short, cute version in Polish. It's like the little kids, like Jinky. It's cute. All right. So let's see here. Okay, what else do I have here? Did we watch all this one? Some of this is on Rumble. Let me make sure I get past the ads here, because there's some ads on Rumble. I'm gonna play 2 clips off of Rumble, which they're shorter, but, and I'm not gonna play the ad on how to buy a boat. Okay, here you go. So here's just one on Hank snitching, and Johnny specifically saying don't do it, and he does it. So let's just play this.
They're not calling police on us, so we don't call police on them. Truce.
They don't have
Truce. Don't call police, Hank.
money. Give me money. Or
Oh
you're
my.
not gonna find me. It's Zena. I need it. I want some money.
They gonna see this.
Or I'm gonna gotta find me. I gotta legally beat the shit out of that bitch.
So he literally wants this woman, Zena, who, by the way, provided a lot of the clips. Thank you, Zena. And thank you, Zena's mod, who was very kind to provide that. Wanted to extort her. Wanted to literally extort Zena or beat her up in a gym. Yeah, and yeah, this is, once again, Hank or Han Jung Yu.
Okay, she's not going to.
No, it's settlement.
He's calling it a settlement. Once again, he does know the legal process, like generally, right? And you can tell he's the type of person that sues in order to try to get some money, right? And there's a lot of people like that try to extort people using the legal system, right?
Okay, can I drink alcohol now because the mission's over?
No, because you get obnoxious.
No, I don't, bro. Off of one soju, no, nigga.
I feel like this is like a feuding couple, to be honest, like seeing the dynamic here. And Chris, welcome. Thank you. And thank you for the gift, the Christmas gift over there on Ko-Fi of the microphone. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm just going to put this in the chat. I'm just going to put this in the chat. I mean, once again, no judgment here. Hank X Ramsey BL Manwa, would you buy it? Yes, no, or only with Ramsey's own super chat money. Let's put a money sign. There you go. Okay. It's up. The poll is up. Hank Epps Ramsey BL. If you guys don't know what BL, you can Google. Google will help you.
This nigga act like my daddy, bro.
It's settlement.
Okay, then do a settlement.
I'm calling cops.
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not.
You don't do it. I'm calling cops.
Hank?
I'm calling cops. How much self-control it took me maybe just like not launch at that bitch?
Not to launch at her.
No,
You wanted to
take off.
You wanted to go up on her and go crazy.
I don't want to fucking get boom, boom, boom.
You should have did it, bro. I would have let you.
Spent $3. Hank, you are all toxin. Sprayed you down like a misbehaving cat, and you ran away from her with your tail between your legs.
Bro, we not snitches, bro. That's like
I don't care.
That's like
I play by my rules.
That's snitching, bro.
I play by my rules. I play by
Hank plays by his own rules.
Snitching, bro. We don't.
I play by my rules, man.
Look, y'all got it in 4K. I told them, do not call no police. Don't do none of that.
Bro,
She gotta know how much money you seeking from Zena. Settlement.
how much is she getting through the stream?
Guys, how much is Zena making?
I want 40%.
Is she making a lot of money? Is Zena making a lot of money?
A percent. He wants
I'm telling you, yeah.
he wants a percent cut. He's like a manager. Like, I want a percent cut. Like, wow.
Ice is right. Never call the cops over a press. Never. Hank is saying all this shit. You gonna call the cop? He don't got Zena information. He's retarded. He don't got Zena information. He don't. Bro, this nigga he not gonna do it, bro.
He actually did do it, and he doesn't need her information. He has her location, so he could just send the cops to the location.
Angry,
right?
bro. He's not calling cops.
He did.
Flip this, ship it. We not calling
saw
nobody.
him.
Y'all know this nigga a little bit psycho. Like, even I got it. This is like a dirty tat. I don't know how I find these psychopathic niggas in every.
Oh, okay. So let me stop that one. Okay. So one more. This is an interesting one because a lot of the things here have been commenting. Okay, well, how is Hank getting his money? Well, one thing is, and it's been pointed out, is he likely has a very wealthy parent, and most people are speculating it's his mom, right? So his mom is like extremely wealthy, and that's how he's getting all of the money to file these legal cases, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to. And in case you guys don't know, there's kind of in Korea, and in my Korean brothers and sisters, you guys can back me up here. In Korea, there's kind of social stratification based a lot on wealth, assets, etc. Right? So there's this concept of spoons and like what type of spoon you are. Obviously, most of us are aware of the concept of a silver spoon, right, being high end, right? So that's something here. Now, whether or not he's at the highest end or middle, lower, whatever, but obviously there's some significant funding here behind him. But there was a particularly interesting comment here about his will. Now, of course, a will is something that you leave when you die, and typically if someone dies without a will, or even does have a will, they would leave it to someone who's their family, maybe their wife. Obviously, he's unmarried. I'm actually, once again, I'm not sure, and it's not material as to what his sexual orientation is, right? Whether he's bisexual or gay, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But of course, you could leave it to somebody else. So he actually comments here who he would leave his will to. And mind you, like I said, his parents or parent, right, has been funding him this entire time, supporting him this entire time. And look, despite that, right, who does he say he would leave his will to? Who does he say he would leave his will to? Let's play this.
That's his best friend. That's the friend he left the will for.
Oh, really?
He's black like us.
So if you die, the will goes to him? I'll take it?
You gotta get it notarized for you. Sorry, don't say that. Sorry. I won't say it. Shut up. Let me shut up. You think your mom watches?
Dude, you fucked up, man. Come on, man.
You think your mom watches, Hank?
No.
No way.
But someone might send that to my mom. Stupid ass motherfucker. Come on, man. Holy fucking shit, man.
My bad.
Stupid ass motherfucker.
Sorry, I didn't know your mom might watch or someone might send it to her. I didn't know.
So Hank got really mad at Johnny because Johnny was commenting that he is leaving his will is going to a friend, not to his mom, not to anybody else, not the people that helped him, not his parents. And he got pissed about that because someone might send it to his mom. Well, probably going to find out now, huh? Probably going to find out now. Might cut him off. Might be kind of bad for him, right? Got really pissed off at that little point. It's kind of a little note there, right, about what made Hank really mad, mentioning that publicly because he did that. And imagine your parents have been supporting your entire life, and and mind you, he has no assets anyways. He has nothing to give. It literally is just a moral statement of like, I'm leaving it to my buddy instead of my parents. Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. Phoenix Diaz says, Hank seems to be a little spoon in the family. If he's mostly broke and looking to shake down people in frivolous lawsuits, yeah. I mean, obviously there's some issues there. Obviously there's some financial solvency issues, right? Secret Final Boss says, good to see you on SNH last night. Yeah, that was cool. It was a fun guest appearance. Tatsum, he said, Hank to Johnny, please, sir, just a crumb. Please, sir, just a super chat. Just a super chat. He's watching and he's so mad. Both of them, probably. It's me, Kate, as a new member. Welcome. Solon the Lich for Argentina 50 said, good morning, Andrew. Please take my bison dollars. Don't spend it all in one place. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Lenmar for €5 says, since Hank is willing to take it in the for money, I can only, how many times Johnny Somali had to do him for food and shelter? Oh boy. I don't enter into speculation, right? That's for you guys to write. By the way, in the question, Hank X Ramsey BL Manwa, would you buy it? 11% said yes. 11% 8% said yes.
No. Wait.
44% said no, and 55%, the winner is, 45%, lawyers don't math so good, said only with Ramsey's own super chat money, which is the base response. I actually appreciate the last response about. So 45% of you said you'd buy it with Ramsey's money. Norbert Folik says, funny how they all got together to make money streaming their BS and it turned on them and now it's going downhill. Thank God. Liebe Grüße. This is what I'm talking about. See, Norbert, you get it. People keep saying prison time. But sometimes the pre-prison is the punishment. This is the punishment, guys. The punishment is they're having to pay all these legal fees. The process is the punishment. The process is the punishment. So yes, I want him to have to spend all this money suing people and get nothing out of it. I want him to go out there and have to e-bag. I want him to have to do all this stuff. And by the way, he's not going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars to sue everybody. It's just not going to happen, right? He's not going to get bankrolled to just sue frivolously everybody, right? Who said one thing, including people in other countries, including people whose information he doesn't even have. It's just not going to work. It's not going to fly. I saw on the list for 50 Argentina. Says, no, Andrew, have some of my BlackRock ESG loan to fund the Johnny X Hank comic. Look at all that diversity, brother. It's a gold mine. Exactly. I think that would be a super BlackRock approved manhwa. I agree. Huevos Unlimited for 20 Mexicans says, Hank to Somali, trespass my construction site, baby.
No, don't do it.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. All right. So I've got some comments. Obviously, some people are really pushing him, and yeah, I'm just going to read here some comments here. So obviously, there have been some people privately, and I'm saying whether I want to show this or not. Actually, I'm not going to show some of this. But essentially, people have been pushing him, but a lot of people have been pushing him because he gets an allowance because he's dependent on his parents, his mom paying for him. He's going to school at 32. So he's feeling a lot of pressure there. He's feeling a lot of heat. And, you know, it might be a time in which he ends up flipping, right? Might be a time in which Hank ends up flipping. So all I can say is, can Johnny trust Hank? Is Johnny really able to trust Hank? That's a real big question. It's a real big question out there. 515 says, I'm absolutely loving Ramsey silent now. Oh, he has to be now. He has to say silent now because he knows he's in deep shit. And he knows that the more that he talks, the more content that is. And I'm going to cover every single twist and turn of this case and every single peep that comes out of his mouth that can be used against him in a court of law, which most of it can. G1 Emma Yoon for Manwan says his mom will smash back with a Korean spoon and yell at him with bad words. And by the way, I hope she does. I don't blame a mom for loving their child, right? I don't. Like, I have family members that support other family members that they're distant, like cousins, like third cousins, fourth cousins, really distant, right? But, you know, there's people I know that it gets supported that, you know, maybe the dad doesn't know what the cousin is spending it on, right? And maybe, you know, you see them on social media going to clubs or parties, and you know their dad's paying for it, you know, somebody else is paying for it, somebody else is financing it. Look, it happens to a lot of people. A lot of times it can be because of ignorance, because they don't know. They just give them the money and they just turn a blind eye. Sometimes they willingly turn a blind eye. Sometimes they kind of know and pay attention. It's very, very common for that to happen. And I do hope that if she does get knowledge of it, maybe she could get, you know, straighten him out and get him on the right path, because this is obviously not working out. This path is not working out. Hanging out with people like Johnny is not working out. And if he wants to get back in the United States, this is about the last thing he should be doing. Right. Yeah. Someone mentioned Nepo baby. Yeah. Let's see here. Sailor Moon says for 10, another channel said they took away Ramsey's electronics. It's true. Sailor Moon, I love you. Rewind the video to the beginning. I literally covered this A to Z. Mentioned that 2 seconds. He mentioned that. I've mentioned that multiple times on my channel for the last month, right? So his phones have been taken. He's been using a burner phone that belongs to either Hank or somebody else. He's been using other phones, right? Or going to PC Bangs, right? Which is a PC cafe, right? So he's been either going to a PC bang or going to use somebody else's phone to post on social media. So yes, they have his phones, they have his cameras, right? And that's been known for a while. That's not a new news; it's old news, right? I guess there's some people they like are not realizing some things that happened, and also, to be honest, it's perhaps my fault because I didn't drill into that fact or like make it as clear as I maybe should have made that. Hey, all of his equipment is gone. And that's a big deal because that means the deep fakes are being investigated severely, which, by the way, is going to be another episode this week we do on deep fakes. But that is a unraveling situation right now. So I don't want to get too deep into it just yet. It's building. The situation is building there. California Slavery 2024, becoming a new member. Welcome. Huna Tuna for 10 says, hello, Legal Mindset. Thank you for your videos and streams. Question, as an artist, no BL, I swear. Would I get in trouble for making art, making fun, mocking of Ramsey and what he's doing? No, especially since you're sending me dollars in the US. You can do whatever you want to do. You're in the US, right? It's parody. You're going to be fine under fair use. So you're going to be totally fine. I mean, obviously, just don't break any laws regarding like what is criminal to draw, and you'll be fine. So, yeah. Chaos Masters, don't forget to raid Alice Live Note. Well, so here's the question. So I'm going to put this poll in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up. So everybody has been sending me this K-Town interview. Everybody has been sending me this. It is long, okay? So this K-Town Social Club. Okay, I'm going to put a poll in the chat, right? Do you want me to review this live? So I'm going to put a chat. Yes. Review it now. No. Or I'll put a third option. Review it later on a member's stream. Okay. So 3 options. So it's going to be based on what you guys want. It is long, so you guys are going to have to stick with me. If you say yes, you got to commit. I want commitment. This is like Hank and Johnny, where you can turn on me for Manwan, right? You got to be loyal. If I watch this, right? Okay, 84%, 87% say 82%. Okay, 12% say review it later. 6% say no. And I will do it. I will tell you this. I will do it on 1.25 speed because I don't want to be. I don't want to take. I want to like do it as fast as I can without missing anything. So I'll do it 1.25 speed if we review it. So far, 82%. Okay, but we've got 3,000 people in the chat. So let's see. Let me answer the super chat here while I wait for people to vote. Shiki Labouche for 20 Danish krona. Says, dumb question. What would it be illegal to draw? If in your jurisdiction, this is something that, okay, quick little aside here. In certain jurisdictions, certain types of adult art are illegal. It depends country to country. I've done videos on this. People who know my VTuber coverage know this very well. In certain places, certain things are not, you can't draw certain things. Let's put it that way. And it depends on the country. Right? So it could be okay to draw certain types of images in one place that aren't good in another. I guess that's the easiest way to say it, right? People say 2.x speed. Let's start on 1.25. If that's too slow, I can pick it up. 2 is too fast for me usually. 2 is too fast, right? So I can't remember, guys. When people tell me to like, is it legal? I don't even know what country you're in. And now I can guess on your currency, but like, for example, let's say you're like sending euros, like Imagine 3D Stories for €5. There's a lot of countries in there that have different laws in the Eurozone. Anyway, it says, do you think YouTube covers could end up amounting to nothing or turning into a shit show like what happened with Onisan? YouTube covers. Onizian. I don't know. Honestly. I guess we'll have to see, but I don't know. Tastix says, as a sign of commitment, thank you for the 5. Phoenix DS for Canadian 10 says, so if Ramsey's using internet cafes, will the police be looking at video surveillance at the cafes just see if he shows up? I think they might go back, and if he accessed them for specific data or specific things, they might go into that. Or if he did things on a specific day and they can track that down, they might be able to get that for sure. Laughing over on locals, JP Ravenfair said, tree fitty. Yes. It's not free fitty. Mercenary said, legal. Johnny definitely has someone backing him, but I think it's for the lulz, like the devil who will lead you into trouble after you. Yeah, and I think that's his audience. His audience is leading him into this for the lulz and leading him into failure for the lulz because they want to see him fail. Okay, 80% of you want me to do it now, so we're doing it now. Cool. All right, guys. So we will review this right now. This is the K-Town interview from K-Town Social Club, who reached out to Hank Yu. Now, I'll just give my live commentary.
All right, and we are back with K-Town Social Club. Joining us, me, Michael Kim, Douglas Kim, and Ed Choi. Joining us all the way from Seoul, Korea, is you may know Johnny Somali. It's Johnny Somali's buddy in Korea. Hank Yu, welcome to the program, Hank.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, so what's going on with you? Where you?
I love the.
Or does he mostly post on Truth
Oh,
Social?
sorry. I love. I'm gonna go back here, but I love the face on this guy. The face on this guy over here, because you can see these guys are like they know this is gonna be crazy, right? Like the facial reactions of like what the fuck is about to go down right now.
Somali, it's Johnny Somali's buddy in Korea. Hank Yu, welcome to the program, Hank.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, so what's going on with you? Where are you going?
I'm going to the gym right now.
Okay, so I just want to say this whole I'm going to the gym, this is how much I lift. Once again, it goes back into this like false machismo, right? This like I'm willing to fight women and people that are smaller than me and weaker than me, but as soon as it's a dude, as soon as anybody else, I'm going to go and call the cops, right? I'm going to go and call the cops. Like crazy. Geodax says, I came in when Hank was saying what tastes like money. Also, oh, yeah, well, you could go rewind that one and see what he said. Once again, his words, not mine. Also, YouTube has a custom speed. I know. Mercenary says, no, somebody has a lot of money illegal, that kind. Oh, okay, gotcha. Let's continue.
Now, early in the morning.
Oh, yeah?
Wait, what time is it there?
It's like 9 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what can you bench press?
They're like laughing.
I
It's fucking
maxed out
funny.
at 100 kilograms, which is like 220 pounds.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't like max out much anymore. I do like which weight I can comfortably bench for like 8 reps without assistance. So for that, it'd be like 60 kilograms to 70 kilograms around there.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. You sent me a text. You sent me an email because when we first covered the Johnny Somali thing, when he got his ass beat or whatever in Korea, you were there too, and we talked about how you kind of got pulled to the ground and some girl was stepping on your face and all this stuff is going on. Like you said, you wanted to clear something up. Like what is the misconception people have?
So and this is the thing that actually is like empirically a lie, and a lot of people have debunked it about like his statement. So he's about to obviously he's going to give the Hank version of the story, which is not the right version, but he needs to show like, oh no, this is what happened because I'm the man and I could have beat everybody up, right?
Well, a lot of people thinks it's a 1v1 and that guy took me out like fair and square just because that dude took me down to the ground. But in 1v1, I would have pulverized him. Simple, like.
So once again, he needs to like prove himself. He needs to show, oh, I'm so tough. I would have taken him out. Once again, you're seeing like a psychological profile. When you put this together, you see like psychological profiles of people. It's like a psychological profile of somebody who continually needs to prove that they're really tough.
Basically, yes, he took me down to the ground because I was imbalanced, holding a baton. But I actually reversed and bridged, reversed, tripped out, and got a back control.
He's living his like wrestling fantasy right now, like he's just it's such a joke, honestly.
That's when those are two that are Fatty and the bowl cut kneeled on my legs and his
Fatty is Youngman, who I am going to try to interview actually soon. So
girlfriend like stomped on my head and my neck. So
yeah, but it's
41.
Yeah, but it was never a 1v1. I think you were just getting jumped because of your your support of Johnny Somali and all that. You feel like you shouldn't have been jumped then. You should have just had a one-on-one.
Mind you, he also had a weapon. He had a 3-stage baton that he had in his hand. So he had a weapon, right? So let's make that clear too.
One fight.
No, because I know better not to. I know better than to expect fair fight from a street fight, because that's why, like, I don't like street fighting. If they want to fight me, they can fight me 1v1 at the gym. Because anything can happen in
You're right.
street
Okay.
fight.
So what?
This guy can't have a knife. This guy can have a gun.
Yeah. So why are you friends with Johnny Somali?
Okay,
What's your- what-
real quick. This guy can have a gun. That is the biggest pile of shit. See that he's like pretending this is America or something. Like, no offense, but like once again, it's Korea. It's not America, right? Nobody has a gun. Okay, so that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous statement. Like 0% chance you're gonna get shot in Korea, right? As part of a street fight. That does not happen, right? Period. No guns, right? So that's not gonna happen, right? Being knifed, highly unlikely as well, right? Once again, okay, yeah, is it possible? Sure, but very unlikely. Look at the violent crime statistics. It's not even close. It's not even like sort of close.
What draws you to it?
If you're trying to avoid street fights, I think being friends with Johnny Somali in Korea is probably not a good idea.
That is a very good comment. Perhaps you shouldn't be defending Johnny Somali, who's literally provoking people to come fight you, because he's literally saying, come get me, and you're defending him. That is kind of, in the technical term, although not legal, technical term, what we might call asking for it. Asking for it.
Yeah, Korea has a really bad self-defense law. The reason why I'm friends with Johnny Somali is I don't agree with everything what he does, but
See, okay, there you go. Oh, there's a statement. I don't agree with everything he does. So he's having to back down. He's having to back down because he knows he can't stand by and justify it. He knows that what he says is done. He's having to say that, right? And then he's going to couch it in some bullshit argument, which is bullshit, by the way, right? Because, by the way, and you're going to see this, Hank understands the fundamental difference between Korea and the U.S. He knows that the laws are not the same there. He even mentioned the self-defense law. So he knows that there's differences in the laws between the U.S. and Korea. There's big differences, material differences, right? That's why I need to talk to people constantly. Every day, I spend a good amount of time, especially before a stream. For each stream I do, I probably spend about, I'm going to say 6 to 8 hours of prep before a show. That's why if I do 2 Johnny Somali streams in a day, that means I've probably nonstop been doing Johnny Somali stuff for 24 hours almost, right? That means it's pretty much been like Johnny Somali stuff all day. Like I've just woke up, Johnny Somali stuff in the morning, Johnny Somali stuff at night, right? Because there's a lot of people I'm calling, I'm contacting, I'm getting in touch with, right? I'm confirming information. I'm looking at videos. There's a lot of prep that goes into these videos, a lot, which is why I thank you guys when you support me. And thank you so much when LJ O'Rourke, when you drop those memberships, because by the way, these anger Johnny a whole lot. He counts every single membership I get. So thank you so much for that. And if you got a gift membership, please say thank you to LJ O'Rourke and also anyone else who gifted a membership. It really helps. And smash that like button as well. Corey says still only 1,400 likes, rookie numbers. I know, we'll get to 2,000. Let's go. All right, let's continue here.
I do support his freedom of speech. And
what do you agree with? What do you agree with?
So this is something real quick. So bullshit argument, freedom of speech. I am a very big American freedom of speech advocate. I very much in America advocate for that. But I live abroad. I am an expat. I understand, especially as a lawyer, that other countries do not have the same concepts. There are certain things in other countries that don't fall under that distinction. And the concept of freedom of speech as it occurs in America isn't the same. Understanding defamation, the difference between defamation laws, is just one thing amongst many things of how the laws are different in one area to another. And beyond that, committing a crime is not freedom of speech. Johnny committed what appears to be multiple crimes, right? That's not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of action. Freedom of speech is freedom to have an opinion. If Johnny wanted to make a video saying all sorts of bad things about the Korean government or whatever else, or whatever else, he might be able to do that, particularly if he was doing it from America. If Johnny Somali wanted to critique in a scholarly way, wanted to critique South Korea, he could have done that from America. But Johnny Somali or Ramzi Khalid Ismail lacks the brain cells to do that. He is too mentally deficient to make a coherent intellectual argument actually attacking or critiquing any country, whether it's South Korea, Japan, Israel, any of the countries he's gone to and created problems. He's actually so mentally deficient that he can't do that. He's incapable of doing that and having anybody garner an audience. The only thing he can do is act like a child. In fact, act like a deficient child, right? A spoiled, deficient child, and act up abroad because he can't even attract an audience to actually critique people. There's plenty of streamers that make a lot of money critiquing other countries' politics, other countries' geopolitics. You could do that. There's plenty of channels that do that, but he can't do that. He is incapable of doing that. Right? Fitty Trucker for Fitty. Thank you so much, Fitty. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. Big ups to Fitty Trucker. Thank you so much. You know, Johnny Somali, he sees that, and somewhere, you know he is.
You are coping and seething. You just...
It's a lot of cope from Johnny. Thank you, Fitty Trucker. He's going to have to count higher than he probably knows how to count. Phoenix said Hank got hit in the head one too many times. He now thinks he's gold dust, but we all know he's just the Brooklyn brawler for the intermission show. Fitty for Aussie 10 says, sorry, just joined. Sent you an email earlier about a similar obstruction of business case in Korea. Can we watch? Yeah, and that one I think was brought up by Asian Analysis. I actually, fun fact, I met with Al in Bangkok, and we had a chance to talk about that. There was a similar case of obstruction, and and I believe that person was that was their first offense, but they got 2 years and 4 months. And once again, people are a little shocked that Korea normally doesn't give the maximum sentence. This is something I've been saying from the beginning. I've been pretty consistent on that. And when we spoke in person, Al agreed with me on that, is that, they're probably not going to give the maximum sentence. I'm happy if they give 1 or 2 years. In fact, I'd be very happy if they gave 2 years and 4 months, or even 2 years. I'd be very, very happy, in addition to taking this legal process out for about almost 3/4 of a year, right? So we have a legal process that's 3/4 of a year, and you get sentenced, let's just say 1 year. That's almost effectively 2 years. And let's say it's 1.5 year sentence, and then, a 8-month legal process. That's effectively over 2 years that he's been locked up. And that's on the first charge. Now, how about the deepfakes, right? You've got more, and there's more, right? In fact, if he gets 6 months of jail time, that'll be amazing. That'll be fantastic. And once again, my goal is to push for the highest punishment possible, right? I'm not promising it's going to be 5 years or 10 years or 27 years at all, right? What I'm saying is it should be as high as we can possibly get it, is the best. Gin Blades says, I'm pretty late, been lurking though. Just got a massive shipment of food. Johnny is overcooked and rotten, but on the cooking scale, how would you rate Hank? Hank is getting burned right now. And I think after this one, Hank is going to get served up, because I know that a lot of the other channels that follow me, that watch me, are going to look at this content and be like, oh boy, they're going to be rubbing their hands, ready to make videos, because we know they're watching, and we know they're going to make some videos out of this. Let's continue.
I agree with pissing off Korean Xers. For sure. Generation X, yes.
Why? What did Generation X do?
Generation X is the worst in Korea.
Yeah, explain it. Why are they the worst? What do they do?
So it's also these generational, understand, this is another thing too. These generational splits don't necessarily apply as neatly abroad. Right now, understand that there are similar generational patterns, but the population densities and booms and busts, etc., work differently abroad, right? And sometimes the generations don't line up neatly, right? Japan has a similar thing too with the generations, where they have certain categories they put people into, but they don't line up one for one. There are some similarities, right? Like younger people tend to be more tech savvy, right? Or tend to be less motivated, etc., right? But they're not one for one. They're not necessarily one for one.
So do you know the Generation X attitude? Like, how dare you disagree with me?
But the funny thing is, Hank is a millennial, not a Gen Z. Just to be very clear.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's just the general.
Boomers too, right?
Boomers too, but boomers, I believe, they have their own reason because Korea was actually poor then.
Yeah, but Johnny was not just going after Generation X. He was mostly targeting like Gen Z Koreans on the street and like harassing them, no? And boomers
Gen
too.
Z,
I thought
Gen Z actually loves.
pretty sure zero Gen Xers were comfort women too. So confused on that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this is a fucking great point he just made. Like Gen X was not comfort women, right? Was not impacted. That was like the war generation, right? So the people he's pissing off were of the older generations, right? So that's a very good one. And once again, Hank as a Korean knows this. And these guys, I don't actually know their background. I think they're in America, I believe. But like, I'm not sure whether they have Korean, any of them have Korean citizenship or like, I don't know what their status is, any of these guys. I don't. Like, it's just generally like, I don't know. But like, Hank definitely has no excuse to not know, right? So like, I could understand a Korean who grew up in America and never went back to Korea and doesn't know Korea. They might be forgiven for not knowing because they didn't grow up with that. But Hank for sure knows, like 100% knows.
I know, but Gen Z actually love Johnny. Trust me.
You mean like
Gen Z does not love Johnny. This is bullshit. This is complete bullshit. Gen Z does not love Johnny. This is a complete fabrication that Gen Z Koreans love Johnny. Trust me, guys, and you're going to see me. I'm going to interview more of the Korean streamers. They do not like him, right? It is not like a popular thing at all.
80% of Gen Z love Johnny, or
okay, so that boomer that was in the convenience store in the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, here we go. As Gen Z, I do not love Johnny. Yeah, I don't know whether you're Korean or not, but like Gen Z, and he's saying Gen Z in Korea, but like Gen Z in Korea does not like him from everything I've heard.
And that was getting harassed by Johnny. That woman deserved to be harassed like that
and have thrown stuff
like
thrown at
the ramen.
No,
what does
that
freedom
I
of
actually
speech have to do
disagree
with
with.
action?
Okay.
That I actually disagree with.
So they're asking. I will say a little critique for them. They should let him answer one question at a time. They're hitting him with a lot of questions, and they're all really good. But like, I would wait. This is just like my little cue, and this is a problem when you have panels, and this is a huge problem with panel interviews. Is that you really want him to answer, but they're answering him like they're all hitting him with questions, and they should just wait for him to answer one, and then just murder him on the answer.
You have a line then. You have a line. So what did you tell to Johnny when that happened?
I told him why did you do that? That's actually illegal. You can get a criminal trespass warning for that. I mean, and
It's obstruction of business, but sure.
You did.
So then if that woman wasn't, if that Ajuma was a Gen X Ajuma, you'd be totally fine with that?
They were boomers. Actually.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is if that Ajuma at the 7-Eleven or whatever was a Gen X Ajuma,
20 years younger.
Yeah. It would be okay?
Absolutely not. I mean, like, I am for pissing Xers off.
Okay, so what is
within legal boundaries.
So what does Johnny Somali do that pisses Generation X off?
Yeah, what's one example, something that he did that you really like?
You know, Kunde culture?
Yeah, Kunde, yeah.
Kunde, yeah. Johnny Somali goes directly against Kunde, and I hate Kunde. Like, when
like an old fart boomer.
Yeah.
So what's one specific thing that he did to?
So yeah, that doesn't really make much sense, but okay, like not really.
Well, Kunde, like what did he do? Did he say something to them, or?
He said, "What the fuck you gonna do about it? Free speech, nigga."
Oh, that's what he said to a Kunde in Korea.
Xer, yes.
So you say that
I am in full support of it.
So you say you support Johnny Somali's right to free speech, right? But then when you can...
So okay, just to yell at old people, right? Once again, like that's the right. You're the right to yell at old people. That see, I care about free speech. Like, because it's fundamental to like the due process, constitution, like political, like it's the freedom of information. He literally wants it just to tell people to fuck off, which once again, in society, like in the US, you are free to disagree with people even vehemently, right? You are allowed to hate people. You're allowed to say nasty things about people as long as they're not defamatory, right? You're allowed to say they're, X, Y, Z, right? In the US, for example, you're allowed to say someone is a piece of shit. Right? You can say that legally. Legally, it's okay. You can say he's an asshole, he's a piece of shit, he's XYZ, but you can't say anything defamatory. So you couldn't call him a criminal if he's not a criminal, right? So you have to be careful. There are certain things, even in the US, which has, amongst all the countries legally that I know of, I haven't met too many that are, people can make an argument, but I think the US is the strongest freedom of speech laws. And there's certain things you still can't say. So, but the thing he cares about, the thing that's the big moral thing to him is to tell old people to fuck off, right? It's great.
Continue to hang out with him after he then gets violent with people and puts his hands on people or does break the law. You do realize you're no longer supporting his freedom of speech and you're just supporting his illegal behavior, right?
Right, but Johnny never actually put his hands on people.
He has threatened to rape.
But okay, so it's like he never put his hands on people. That's not the only crime, bro. And even he admits that that's not the only crime. It's not just when you assault people. It's when you do other things, like, for example, obstruction of business, deep fakes, right? Threats can be that too.
Rape, hasn't he?
Rape, Mopsy, as a joke. Yeah.
That was not a fucking joke. Okay, chat. I'm gonna put that. Was the threat against Moxie at the ABC Pizza a joke? I'm gonna put that yes, no. It's just a yes or no. It was either a joke or it wasn't. Right? Polls up in the chat. You guys saw
so
it.
he jokingly threatened to rape somebody.
So how do we know if it's a joke or not?
Like, that's online streaming stuff, and I don't know if it's a threat.
It's streaming stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I'm a streamer. I've been a streamer for 4 years. I have never threatened to sexually assault somebody, even once. That's not been something I've used as a quote unquote streamer. Okay, 7% say yes, and 93% say no. It was not a joke. Let's continue.
Because he said that you should get raped by Somalis.
No, didn't he say he was gonna get his homies to like rape her or something?
I don't believe so. No.
He's wrong. He's wrong. We have the tape. He literally said, "I'm gonna get my friends to do it. I have people that are going to you." Straight up lie. And he was there. And he knows it.
I do believe that he said that you should get raped by
so you're saying he wouldn't cross that line, right? Because he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a violent dude. Like,
all right,
he's and really not. Like,
yeah, and
I almost chimped out on him a couple times.
He almost chimped out on him a couple times.
We've heard you. So for me, when I see you get mad at Johnny a lot. You try to drag him away from trouble. You yelled at him in the police car to stop drinking. It seems like you're trying to get him out of trouble, but he keeps fucking around, and you're always there to have his back. Like, I don't understand why you keep helping this guy who keeps defying your orders. Like, you're trying to keep him out of trouble, but he doesn't care, and you keep helping him. Like, I mean, do you feel sorry for him? Like, what is this? What is it for?
Do you feel respected?
I do really feel sorry for him, Tim, because he didn't kill anyone, he didn't rape a child, or like he didn't abuse kids, but why is he the most hated person in the world just because he disrespected?
What the fuck? Like, there's other crimes than that, bro. Like, that's not all that he did. And also, yes, he did mess with children. He literally, we saw the video where he's messing with the kid to put in the dollar, right, or the $5, right, to fill his Metro card, and he's bossing the kid around and yelling at the kid. He's absolutely abusive around kids. How about playing text to speech at full blast knowingly around children that says sexual things? He was playing sexual messages knowingly around children, repeatedly around children. He knew what they were doing, what they were saying. He knew what they were putting in there. He knew they were saying, and beyond that, even the sexual noises, porn noises, sex noises around children, right?
Like Japan and supposedly now Korea. I mean,
supposedly now Korea. Did you not see the?
This is definitely someone said in the chat. This is definitely damage control for sure.
Koreans need to learn how to take jokes.
Wait. Supposedly Korea, but you didn't see what he did with the baby oil and the statue?
I have, but I honestly don't think that's a big of a deal.
But can you see how it's yeah, if you don't think it's a big deal, but do you see how 50 million South Koreans might see it as a kind of a big deal?
Yes, sir. I mean, I can definitely see it.
Right.
However,
so why do you keep protecting him and helping him?
Yeah. What if Johnny? What if you were in, let's say you were in Israel with Johnny, right? And he said, the Holocaust was fake, and in Israel, just everywhere, would you be like, what's the big deal? He's just saying words. Or would you be like, yeah, I'm getting the fuck away from this guy because I don't want to get killed?
I mean, basically, I would take care of my safety first, right? But at the same time, like,
right, but taken to the logical
Johnny
conclusion,
doesn't really endanger my
right, but taken to the
right
logical
now,
conclusion.
Didn't you just get your ass beat last? Didn't you get your ass beat though?
I did.
Right.
So how did he not put you in danger then?
He did, but that wasn't supposed to happen in a first world country like Korea. You know,
Why
that's
wouldn't it?
He didn't get it. He didn't get that beat up. Look at him. He's fine, right? He had to pretend. So let me tell you the real quick story here, because this is on the Korean side. One of the Korean YouTubers settled with Hank to like make it go away and paid him like a little bit of money to like make it go away. It was not a lot. It was like maybe Shibman won, like 100,000 won, which is like actually probably like $70 or something like that. Like it wasn't that much money. They paid him like very little money to like just go away, like it was an annoyance. So they settled with him because once again, the Korean laws, as we've said, regarding self-defense and regarding assault are like very, they're not good. So essentially both parties end up probably usually like settling with each other over stuff. So regarding that, one of the people that was involved in that did quote unquote settle with him. So he has to pretend like he got messed up because he did file that charge. Because if he goes back and he says, oh no, I was fine, well then he actually lied on a police report and he filed a false police report. Right. So he has to like pretend that in one of those fights he was like really messed up when he really wasn't, because he did it for money. Right. Also, Karen Ann, welcome as a new member. Tastix, welcome as a new member. Phoenix DS says 7% are concerning, thinking grape threats are a joke. Well, understand that, Phoenix, that I do have like probably 7% of Johnny's like followers, maybe watching. Who knows? Or also there's people that may be doing it for the lulz. Who knows? Nicole Muzzin says Cabbage Patch Kids really scraping the bottom of the barrel with this one. Yeah. And Randy Matsunaga, welcome as a new member. Appreciate you. Are you the one who DM'd me? Or if you are, thank you. Obviously, guys, I didn't know about this video. I was aware of it, and I just want to review it live so everybody knows I've seen it.
That would happen in Mexico, basically.
Okay, but it happened in
would
Korea,
happen anywhere.
so
It would happen in America. Let's say you did something to offend Americans. You know, let's say, what would offend Americans?
Oh, fuck.
I mean, screw the Americans. There's people whose parents. Who...
I like how they like had to think for a second. What would offend Americans? I mean, a lot could offend Americans, right? They didn't want to say it, but like, imagine if you went up. Like, imagine if Hank went up and like, I mean, for example, as much shit as he talks about George Floyd, what if he went up to like a George Floyd statue in the middle of like, you know, whatever, like the middle of Minneapolis or something like that, and he just like took a piss on it, right? Do you think he's tough enough to do that? No, he wouldn't do that because he'd get killed, right? You know, like Hank is not willing to go into an actual dangerous situation. Like as much as he talks about Mexico, he wouldn't go to like Guadalajara or Ciudad Juarez and start talking shit, right? Like he would be killed, right? Absolutely, 100%. 100%. Like he wouldn't do it. He talks smack.
Grandparents, people that they know and loved who used to be comfort women. So the real correlation is, let's say your mom has some sort of disease, right? And Johnny Somali then made fun of that disease to her face and laughed about it. Would you feel like you would have a right to get upset?
I would. All right. So,
but it's just words, right?
If I love my mom, I would probably get upset, but I would still support Johnny Somali's right to free speech. You know, like I'm a free speech absolutist. I believe free speech must be absolute, and it's the most fundamental right that a human being can have.
Is that because you lived in America for a few years, or you always felt that way?
I love that I threw it out there. You lived here for a few years. Yeah. He's really like cosplaying an American, right? He's really cosplaying an American. Yeah, no, once again, like guys, it could be anything. People, you know, it could be anything cultural, right? He wouldn't go to DC and piss on a statue of like George Washington. He wouldn't go into like the Lincoln Memorial and take a shit, right? He wouldn't do any of this stuff. He wouldn't go to the middle of Chinatown, right, and start like mouthing off about China, right? He wouldn't do any of this, like, and anywhere. He wouldn't do any of this. He wouldn't go to Thailand and try to start shit here, right? He wouldn't go to the Philippines and talk shit in the middle of like Manila or Cebu, right? Like he would get fucked up, right? He would never do that sort of stuff. He would never have the balls to do that, period.
I believe I always felt that way because America these days doesn't really practice. I mean, it preaches free speech in a fake manner, but it does not practice free speech.
In what? Give me one example.
this is like so frustrating because it's like somebody who doesn't know what the concept of free speech is advocating for it, which is it hurts me as a free speech advocate to hear him using this argument, right? And I've heard this before. There's a lot of people, our favorite internet cocaine addict, Nick Rekieta, who use that as a shield for responsibility, right? Use free speech as a shield for responsibility. There's a time when making the free speech argument is appropriate. This is an inappropriate argument.
Example where America doesn't practice free speech.
Let's see. There are threat laws. There are
threat laws. I don't know what he's talking about there. Also, thank you, Randy Matsunaga, for the 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for the support.
They find Alex Jones for exposing school shootings. And,
okay, that's okay. Maybe that's one. Okay, you can argue that one. That's arguable.
And yeah.
Okay, but that's not you. That wasn't the government who fined him though.
That was.
No, that was the Sandy Hook people.
Court.
Oh, so you're saying the court is an extension? Okay, well that's.
Court actually fined Alex Jones.
Yeah, I think that.
And said that Alex Jones must compensate all these victims.
Right.
What victim?
But
but he wasn't criminally charged.
It was a civil case.
It was a civil case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
You're right,
but Hank, I do wonder what kind.
Yeah, he's confusing criminal and civil here, which is a big difference because obviously in Korea there's defamation. There's criminal defamation. It's different.
Country on earth has the free speech that you support? Is there any country on earth that has this free speech that you love so much?
Zero, sir. The last and the only country to have my version of free speech was 1800s America.
Don't you think it'd be easier if you join like the rest of society and instead of trying to go for this late 1800s free speech thing that hasn't been around for a while?
Fair enough point.
Wouldn't it be easier for you?
100%. 100%. I would agree, but
yeah, but even in the late 1800s, if you threatened someone, you would get arrested.
Yeah. Yes. See, he's making a good point here. You think they didn't have laws in the late 1800s America? Also, there's a lot of things you couldn't do in the late 1800s America. Let me point it out there. There's a lot of people that were not able to speak in the end of the late 1800s America. Let's throw that out there. Also, yes, late 1800s America, I could duel you. I could be like, sir, I challenge you to pistols at dawn. And that could fly. That could legitimately fly in 1800s America, which, by the way, I'm not necessarily against dueling. I would be happy if dueling came back. But I just tell you what is legal and what is not legal now, right? On principle, I don't have anything against dueling, right? But that said, no era of time is perfect. Obviously, there's flaws in every era of time. I think a lot of times people tend to look back on certain eras as flawless, and they're not. They're not perfect, right? They have their flaws in that era of time, right? I like a lot of the modern conveniences that we have today. You know what I like indoor plumbing. I really like indoor plumbing. I like air conditioning, especially being in hot places like Florida and Thailand. I love air conditioning, right? I love heating. Those are great things. Those are cool things.
That law didn't exist until like 1930s or so, actually.
Yeah, I think you could duel, actually.
Wow.
You actually have to do something in action.
Duel.
Okay, so you want to go back to the Wild West?
I mean, but
right. I mean, like, if you want to go back to the Wild West,
I don't want to die.
People shot people for insulting them.
Yeah. So that's a very good point. If he wants to go back to the Wild West, but he's not capable of living that, right? So this is the funniest thing. So he's really calling him out here. This is actually a really good call out. So he keeps wanting. He's like, oh, I want to go back to this. Then why do you act like such a little sissy, right? If you want to go back to the Wild West, you're such a tough guy. You're such a tough dude. Why do you always call the cops when a dude gets involved? Why do you only offer to fight? The only person you wanted to fight was Xena, a girl, right? Why do you go do that? If you're such a tough guy who wants the Wild West, why do you get the cops involved every second? It's false machismo, right? Super false machismo.
Like, fighting words is a term for a reason in the Wild West.
Yeah. Hey, so where's Johnny now?
Well, fighting word was not a legal term until 1910s, actually.
No,
that's not correct, but okay.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that if you're trying to avoid getting hurt, then living in that era would be
you might not. The state might not prosecute you, but people with guns and revolvers will fucking shoot you.
Yeah, Johnny would just be shot, right? Johnny would just have been shot. And if he was in like Tumblestone, or out there, fucking Wild West and shit, Deadwood, if he was in the Deadwood era, he'd be just shot. I mean, same with Hank, like backing him up. They'd both be shot.
Right. I mean, it was more like societal than legal, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So where's Johnny now? What's he up to? Is he doing okay? His trial's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, Johnny's doing all right, but he's not with me right now. But
yeah, because everyone.
That seems very. Guys, I'm gonna rewind this. Look at his eyes. Do you believe Hank right now? I kind of don't believe him. Let me rewind this. So he says he's not with him.
That's where you live.
He's doing all right, but he's not.
Is he doing okay? His trial's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, Johnny's doing all right, but he's not with me right now. But
the trial's been moved to May 7th, so they didn't get the memo. They obviously didn't watch the stream. They didn't see my update video, right? They got to get the update. Hey, K-Town, I'll give you the update. Don't worry, it's coming in March. It was coming. It was moved.
Yeah, because everyone knows where you live.
Yeah, so like my location is like compromised, so I'm not gonna keep Johnny here, you know.
Wait,
right, obviously.
But do you still hang out with him? You have like meals with him? You have pizza with him? You eat what, jajangmyeon with him? What do you do with him?
What do you do with them? Yeah.
Talked to him about a couple legal cases because he is a witness to that aggravated assault, and he's a witness to like stalking, all that, you know.
Yeah. So do you eat with him or what?
Also a witness to those cases. No, not really. I mean, if I eat with him, that's gonna like compromise his safety too, you know.
So what's your take overall? Is he fucked in your opinion, or is he gonna be okay?
Well, they're trying to make it political, and
sure.
You know what happened to my case because they made my case political back in East Texas. I got fucked, right?
But that was from American government, not Korean government.
He's literally look at Hank here. He can't even keep his shit straight. He's literally confusing Korea and America. I hate to tell you, bro, but they're two different governments, right? And this is and he knows this stuff too. He's like conflating issues that benefit him, right? But it's infuriating. And that's why I paused this, because his misstatements are so wild.
Yeah, but like Korea has like much, I would say, more lenient sentencing than the United States. So Johnny's probably not.
That's true. That is true. That fact is true. And I made that very clear. Korea is not a country where everyone gets the max sentence. They typically give what the typical procedure is everybody gives an apology. The public defender says, give an apology. And so they give an apology. They repeatedly apologize. And then the judge is like, oh, because they apologize, we're going to reduce the sentence, right? And they don't give the max. However, in Johnny's case, and this is why it's exceptional, he's got multiple crimes, multiple things he's alleged on. And there is solid proof that his apology should not be accepted as sincere. So the thing that for every other Korean mitigates their crimes, right? Giving an apology mitigates crimes, in his case should not. And what I am doing is doing my damnedest so they do not take that apology seriously. Right? Any of his apologies, anyone's, what his past apologies, future apologies, they don't take those things seriously because he's got a clear track record of going back on them. And we've got video evidence of that. We've got proof of that. He's mocked the justice system repeatedly. He's made a bunch of statements that he's not going to court. He's not seeing a day in jail time. He's made statements he's leaving Korea before the new year. Guess what, Johnny? You're not. It's going to be March 7th. I'll be there in court with you. Don't worry. We'll see you. Anchovy. All right, let's continue.
Go to prison. He's gonna.
Oh, you think he'll be let go?
Either let go or like at most like pay some fines, you know? Because, I mean, what did he do that was like felonious? Not really. Like he.
Deepfakes, obstruction of business, also there, right? You've got potential other crimes as well. So you've got a lot of stuff. You've also got defamation, insult, right? You got a lot of stuff there actually. And then, obstruction, not just for the incident in Hongdae, but potentially for Lotte World as well, right?
He hasn't done anything that would.
Well, the AI deepfake thing was,
that's a felony.
That's a felony. So.
Yeah.
I love how they know better than he does. Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't sexual, and Johnny never created it.
It was sexual. Under Korean law, what they do is sexual, right? That's what everybody is saying here. And creation doesn't have anything to do with it. See, he's actually like straw manning this. It doesn't matter. He didn't create it. He possessed it and he broadcast it. And that's what's against the law.
Oh, that wasn't made by Johnny, huh?
No, that was just made by some random dude on like some app.
Hey, okay, so when you were in America and you got the guns, why did you lie about being a citizen?
Oh, so this is a real, these guys, this is a fucking 4D chess. So hats off, K-Town Social Club. This is a great question. So this is a question that if I am Hank, the only answer that, well, in Hank's shoes, the only answer that's correct here is I can't talk about that because I'm still fighting this. I'm still trying to get this overturned. If he says anything about this, it destroys his chances and it hurts him regarding his appeals and everything else, right? But of course, Hank, you can't stay quiet.
2 reasons. I'll be very honest here, right?
Thank you.
Back then, I was an ultra nationalist, so I was afraid
For
that I was
ultra nationalist
Okay.
for America or for Korea?
America.
Okay.
So I was ashamed that I was not an United States citizen at that time. So I didn't want to reveal the fact that I am a foreign citizen.
Okay, well, you're literally, okay, so he's just literally destroyed his case. He just literally said, okay, yeah, I was afraid of this, so I lied. So all of his appeals, the tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands that his mom spent on this are now flushed down the drain. Any chance he had of appealing that is gone. So also any statements that he's taken or going to give, people can say, well, you've committed perjury in the past. You've actually lied. You said you were a national. You said you were a citizen. You're not, right? You lied. And then you tried all these other methods, to get out of this, right? You tried to fight this. You tried to appeal this, right? You spent all this money on this. And now you're saying it was just because you're afraid? Well, then you're guilty of that, right? Huge blunder.
Like at all, whichever nation that might be, And second thing is on the ATF form 4473, it does say that if you are a non-citizen U.S. national, you should identify as a citizen. So, I mean,
No, it does not. That is complete. No, that is not.
If I'm a permanent resident, right?
If you're a non-citizen U.S. national.
Yes.
You should say
you should
you're
identify as a citizen.
So if you're a non-citizen U.S. citizen, that's weird.
Well, non-citizen U.S. national. There's a
what was your status in America when you were in America? You were just permanent green card holder?
I am a permanent resident, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Right now, too, because I actually appealed.
He lost his appeal. He is not. See, this is the thing. Hank wants to be American so fucking bad, and this is the best thing, man. He does not have a passport. And this is the exact type of person that should not be in here. In fact, here's another little campaign, guys. Here's another little letter writing campaign. Perhaps there's a little bit of support here could be thrown to the DOS, a little bit of information to oppose any naturalization of Han Jong-yu. Right. I think there's really credible evidence that he is the type of person that should not be naturalized, right? Should not be brought in, right? And should have whatever status he has completely revoked, right? There's a lot of grounds here to revoke it, especially with these statements, with these actions, right? Whatever status he does have, right? I believe he is currently barred from the U.S. Completely.
So you got,
but that's not what it says on the form. It says, are you a U.S. citizen? If you are not a U.S.
Yeah, fucking smart guy here pulls it up immediately.
citizen, are you a foreign national legally permitted to reside in the U.S.?
Well, 8 USC section 1101.
Oh, now he's a fucking lawyer, right? So now he's going to quote some law back. Hey, guess what? You lost all your cases, bro. You lost all of your cases.
Finds what a non-citizen U.S. national is. It says even if you're not a U.S. citizen, you owe permanent allegiance to the United States.
But that doesn't say anything about saying you're a citizen.
Oh, so you have like a legal. You should have been an attorney, huh?
I love how this guy fucking subtly roasts him here. That's so good. This guy gets fucking 5 stars. Oh, you should have been an attorney. Oh God. It's the cabbages for Hank too. It's the cabbages for Hank too, guys. That was so good. That was so beautiful. In fact, let's watch that one more time. Let me watch that one more time. That was so good. Let me do that. Rewind it a little. Rewind this a little bit. Hold on. Let's do it one more time.
So you have like a legal. You should have been an attorney, huh?
Probably not.
Wait, so you were born in Korea, correct?
Oh, actually, it says it right here. If you are a foreign national, you must also include your country of citizenship, which must be listed in the Department of State's.
And so he falsely put 7 times that he was from the United States. Only twice did he put South Korea. He falsely listed it several times. So, yeah, he knew because you had to input it. So,
U.S. treaties in force.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I didn't screw up. You know, like I definitely did screw up.
No, I'm just saying because you said that on the form, it said that if you're a foreign national, you should still mark that you're a citizen.
See, this is the whole thing. See, now see, this is exactly why. Do you see how they're getting in back and forth here? This is why you don't talk about 101. You never talk about an active legal case on a stream, on a video. This is also why I'm very careful when I cover certain things because I don't want to talk about certain types of active legal cases, particularly with the people directly involved, right? With somebody who you want to stay innocent, you want to stay clean, you don't talk about it. The thing you don't do, like the lesson that every attorney knows, you don't even need to be an attorney, just common sense. If you have a case against you, shut up, and do not talk. Talk to your attorney, and that's it. If anybody asks you about the case, say, hey, I can't talk to you about it. If they need a statement, you can talk to my attorney, but I can't tell you anything about it, right? That's all you say. So I say, hey, I can't talk about it. Hey, I can't talk about it, right? But he can't help himself.
And it does not say that.
Well, no. Not if you were a foreign national. Like, I thought if I was a permanent resident, permanent residents only.
Okay. Hey, so,
I
yeah.
just grew up.
Yeah, so a lot of people on the internet in Korea, they're saying that you're not Korean, that you're Chinese. Can you clear it up for us? Like, are your parents from China? What's going on there?
I am a Korean citizen, but I do have a lot of Chinese ancestry.
Like, you have mostly Han blood, or what are you talking about?
I believe Han. Maybe Mongol, I believe, but mostly Han, yeah.
Is it because you know your parents are from China, or?
No, both of my parents are from Korea. My ancestors are from China.
Well, okay. It wasn't your grandpa like Attorney General in Korea? Wasn't he like a really big position there?
Yes, 23rd Attorney General in South Korea. That's been doxed.
So that was a speculation, but I guess Hank is confirming it now. He's doxing himself.
Yeah.
Do you still talk to him?
Huh?
Do you still talk to him?
Not really. So
is it shocking that Hank doesn't have a great relationship with his family?
The reason why I'm pissed at my grandfather is my dad was abusive as hell, right?
Yeah.
Being an Attorney General, he should know that upon turning age 14, I have right to go to the court and kick which side of my parents that I want to live in.
Yeah.
Whether it be maternal side since they're divorced. But to protect my mom.
Okay, this is making a lot more
either
sense.
Physical or financial or like reputational retaliation. My grandfather purposely did not inform me of that law. That's why I got kicked back and forth between my mom and my dad, and got abused by my dad and all that.
How are you abused? Like, what's some of the horrible abuse that you went through that I'm sure
beat me with golf club, beat me with a baseball bat, confined me to a room for like days.
This was in Korea or this in America?
Both. In America, it was done by my dad's older brother, who was a total
Wait. So
total like a psycho piece of shit. But
what age did you move to the United States?
10.
11? 10? 11? Yeah.
Yeah, you lived in La Crescenta, right?
So then if you were 10 or 11 in America, what does the AG in Korea have to do with the laws in America? Because didn't they get separated when you were 14, you said? So then wouldn't you have been in America?
Negative, sir. They were divorced when I was 2. So I went to America
10
with my mom first.
Oh, and then you bounce back and forth.
But the question still remains: if your grandfather was an attorney general in Korea, then how would he know about the laws in America to inform you?
Because when I was living in Korea and attending an international school, right?
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck is he attending an international school? That actually doesn't make any sense, because he would have to have one foreign. So in Korea, to be in an international school, one of your parents has to not be Korean or have a passport from a place other than Korea. So that means that one of his parents does not have a Korean passport, or they did what a lot of rich people do and they bought a passport from somewhere else. So it might be that one of his parents had bought an American citizenship or had American citizenship, and then the other one was Korean. So it was like half stacked there, because otherwise usually Korean citizens can't. So like, for example, if you're very rich, you could go get a passport from Vanuatu and give up your Korean citizenship, and one parent has a Vanuatu citizenship and the other one's Korean, and that's kind of how you sort of get them into an international school, because obviously international schools have a really high educational level, but they put limits on who could enter. So it's very interesting. But obviously, here's the other thing too. He just tipped his hand. That means extraordinarily wealth. If you look at the average cost of a international school, it is about $20,000 to maybe even $30,000-$40,000 a year. So imagine going to international school, paying $20,000-$30,000 a year since you're in a little kid. Right. So since he's like a little baby, he's getting schooling that's that expensive. Right. That is far out of the reach of the majority of Koreans, the majority of Americans as well. So obviously we're talking about like silver spoon situation, like confirmed without a doubt.
My grandfather had duty to inform me of that.
By the way, like, and once again, I love how people, especially nowadays, he complains about the generational stuff, but I love how people can talk about how they're victimized. And maybe he was legitimately abused, whatever. I don't know. I'm not commenting about that, but I love how people can look at the bad parts without looking at the extraordinarily good parts they had and how fortunate they were to have that background. That's extraordinarily fortunate, but can still look at, okay, I'm a victim. It's very, very interesting, just as a mindset.
Particular.
Somebody asked in the chat, are international schools better? In Korea, they're perceived as being better, and their English language education is generally better, right? Also, Roll Dice, welcome as a new member. Appreciate that. And I'll get all these super chats in just a few minutes when we finish.
Yeah, but you're talking about the 14-year-old law in America, right? Where once you're 14, you're allowed to choose which parent you want to live with?
Or is that
existed in Korea too?
Is that a same law in Korea?
Affirmative, sir. Yes.
Okay.
It exists both in America.
So what happened is, at age 10, 11, you came to America with your mom, but then you had to bounce back and forth to Korea because you didn't know about this law, and you had to go back to live with your dad for a little bit, and then back and forth. Is that what's going on?
Well, I want to say back and forth to Korea, just like back and forth between my mom living with my mom's side, dad's side, because.
But your dad's side was in Korea and your mom's side was in America, right?
My uncle was in California.
Your dad's brother was in California, though. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom was in New York.
Were you sexually abused?
Negative, sir. I was not sexually abused.
Because I read stuff that you were sexually abused in high school or something a long time ago.
Oh no. That's a different story. I gotta tell you. I wasn't abused. I was kind of groomed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. Well, this is some. I guess trigger warning for those out there. About to get a little spicier. Let's prepare for this one.
I'm not going to reveal her name, but it was a white American woman living in Korea at that time.
And how old were you?
I was 17. She was 37, and she took my virginity both front and back.
Excuse me. Hold on. Let's rewind that a little bit.
I was 17. She was 37, and she took my virginity both front and back.
Okay. Well, all right. So there's that. All right. Okay.
She used a device on you?
You use a strap-on dildo to penetrate my anus.
Might not have needed such detail, but
did you like it though?
At that time, no. But it did turn me. I believe it did turn me bisexual.
Yeah, because you are bi. You told me that.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, there you go. And once again, no problem with his sexuality, but like, damn the details, bro. Damn.
You hook up with dudes or do things for them sometimes, right?
Well, I would say like this. My price is $3,000 for sucky and $10,000 for fucky.
10,000 won.
Huh?
10,000 won, not dollars.
God damn. Oh, Lord, I was not prepared for this. Oh,
No. Wait. wait.
Oh, Ramsey Khalid Ismail. Oh, that is haram, sir. That is haram. My lord. Oh, God. That's $2, bro. Please tell me that was...
Dollars.
Oh, $10,000.
Oh, he's saying it's not. He changed up instead of dollars. I bet it was Juan. I bet it was really Juan. He's like, he had to change it because people were laughing. He's off screen. This guy's fucking off screen right now. Holy shit. The Big Spoon comments, not so off right now. Not so off right now. Holy shit. Oh man. Okay.
Dollars.
Yeah, but
you're joking,
I
right?
do.
Yeah, this is.
I'm not.
You're not. Okay.
Wait, I'm.
This guy's face right here on the left. Oh my god. Holy shit. Is your price under 3,000? Okay. Over under I'd rather be sent to the cabbages. Okay, got it. Okay, new poll in the chat. Is your price over or under 3,000? Okay, let's continue.
I would actually do the, but I do like femboys.
You like?
What is this? What are we even doing? How did femboys become part of this? That was so left field. This story just keeps transforming. Oh boy. Okay. This is really okay. Jesus, take the wheel. All right, let's go. I didn't think this would get crazier.
Femboys. What's an example of a famous femboy? Because I don't know what that means.
Well, I don't know like any like femboy that's like a celebrity, but if you can Google like femboy, like there's a definite difference between a femboy and a tranny.
What's your definition of a femboy then?
Oh man, this got yeah. Okay. All right.
So femboy's like a feminine boy, like femininely dressed boy and stuff like.
So Johnny. Wait. Johnny is the same size as the average. He's actually under the average Korean woman, as Dalgun said. And he is pretty effeminate. So wait a minute. Are you saying? Is it possible? No, it couldn't be. It couldn't be. That is wild speculation.
He doesn't take like pills to become like tranny, but femboys look prettier than girls. So I mean,
but isn't that like bordering on pedophilia?
Huh?
Isn't that bordering?
I don't
on
think they're underage. I think they're just called.
they're not underage.
They're just called boys. They're not actually.
So a white woman turned you by, you think?
Yes, a 37-year-old woman when I was 17 turned me by. Yes.
Yeah. So she was.
The fan fictions are going to flow from this so much right now. L Eagle Sepple, wah, for 2,000 dogs says this escalated quickly. Yeah. Phoenix for 10 says Hank is the meme farm corner. Betsy, we're going to milk you for me. Oh, it's going to happen. I know. This man is volunteering all of his dirty laundry. Phoenix says Hank is a cheap. Also, Jiwon Emma Yoon for Manwan says in Korea, international schools over 30 million won per year. Yeah, exactly. That's about current exchange rate, like anywhere between $20,000 and $25,000. $20,000 and $25,000. Thank you so much. But and people ask, are they better? They're perceived as better. Whether or not that's true is kind of up to you and your objectives. Korean schools are quite good. Mostly people would want them if you're gonna go abroad or do stuff abroad. You know, you might want to go to international school. Phil Phoenix for 10 says your stonks are dropping, Hank. 26 IQ. Time to quit while you're still ahead. Let's continue here.
Teacher in Korea, but she moved back to the U.S. and then that's when it happened in the U.S.
No, that happened in Korea, but it was perfectly legal because Korean age of consent is 16.
Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah.
And you were what,
But
17?
Yeah, he was 17.
Wow.
I was 17, yeah. But in terms of like femboys are actually very.
He's okay. Most people would just like move off of the sexual stuff right away because like they would have some sort of like I don't want to and like some sort of like social awareness that like even if you're okay with talking about it and just you're like, yep, I do that, and then you like let it go. He now needs to go in depth. Like he was not asked a question about this. He now needs to like go into detail about it, right? He now needs to like go into detail about his femboy interests, right? Okay.
Popular among women, and most femboys are straight. So I just gotta find a buy one, you know.
So currently, you're trying to come back to the United States. Is that correct? You're trying to appeal your case.
Negative, sir. I actually plan to move to China.
Oh.
Shanghai.
And do you think that they will?
You think China is going to look kindly to you? I know a lot of people in Shanghai. In fact, I got a good friend in Shanghai. I didn't know about this. I might have some talks. We might have some talks about Hank. Going to China, huh? That's really interesting.
Accept you with open arms. It's kind of a difficult process to. I mean, I've looked into it. I'm also curious as well. But isn't it a difficult process to get naturalized there?
Open arms, I don't think so. But if you have an engineering degree or like a science degree, then it's much easier.
You are an
engineer. Yeah, and I love that. Also, I love that. I love free speech, and I'm going to go to China. Right? That's so great. I love free speech, and I'm going to go to China. It's great. It's fucking great. I'm a free speech advocate. Let me head to China.
Or you have an engineering degree.
Yes, sir. I am pursuing. I'm going to pursue masters of engineering.
I see.
Okay, great. Hey, so this has been a pretty peaceful discussion. It was kind of a little weird in the beginning because you were walking around and distracted. But after the trial, can you tell us more about the Johnny stuff? And where's Gino right now? Is he back in America?
Yeah, Gino is in Japan, and yeah,
that's an interesting fact. I didn't know he was in Japan. I don't know whether that's true or not. And this is something I want to confirm. Like, is he in Japan? Because that's very interesting. Obviously, Johnny can't go to Japan. That's a very interesting fact if that is indeed true.
Japan.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
If he did come back to Korea, do you think he would be in trouble with the authorities?
Probably not. I mean, Gino didn't really do it.
Yes, he would. Absolutely. That's why he's not coming back. I mean, if Gino's so not afraid, then Gino should come back, right? Then Gino should come back. But he's definitely not doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, you were there when. So when I saw the video where Gino was there, and you were standing next to him, and Gino was saying like, "Can I eat your pee?" and like making the la 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 face, and you were laughing at that, right? So that's funny to you, right?
That is actually absolutely funny because most people think that's illegal. That's actually not illegal in South Korea.
No, forget the legal
thing. Oh,
thing.
sorry. So I made a misstatement. One of my Korean people just texted me here. I want to correct the record. So I actually said it was Shibman won, or like 100,000 won. It was actually 500,000. So that's Oshibman won. So that's 50 man won, right? So 500,000 Korean won. So that's like $300. So as he paid the settlement with Youngman, between Youngman and Hank, was about $300. So a little bit more, right? But once again, this is what Hank is suing people over. It's like a couple $100. Trust me. In Seoul, like cost of living, you spend that in like no time.
The women don't want to be harassed like that, or do you think it's funny that they get offended by that?
Sure, but like I think it's funny because they're in a club street. And they should expect to get sexualized like that, but they get offended like that.
What the fuck? They're in a club street, so they should be harassed, and threatened to be raped? No. Just because you're in a club street, look. Listen, man, I'm all for free speech. I'm also all for hey, if a guy wants to come up and talk to you and flirt with you, that's fine. As long as they do it in a calibrated way or a regular way, like, hey, what's your name? Hey, whatever, that's fine. But you don't deserve to get rape threats because you're in a club area. What the fuck? No. Or get yelled at and screamed at. What the fuck?
Wait, I personally wouldn't do it, but
But he was enabling it. He was actually doing it. He was telling him to get the F out of there. He was yelling at these people. It's crazy. He was there enabling and doing it. So he's trying to cope here because he knows he's getting pushback.
But don't you think just like you should expect to get jumped if you're hanging around Johnny and like that? Shouldn't you also expect that? It shouldn't be a surprise, right?
to get jumped over that? No, I don't think so.
I mean,
like,
whether you
because,
agree
like,
with it or not, you can't.
Right. I mean,
not
like, so
expect it.
if you were in the fucking Wild West and you started doing this type of shit, you would just get shot. And
I have a question.
I mean,
how does grooming fit into free speech? Because all she did was just use words, right? And she has a right to use your words.
Well, she had my she had my fully informed consent to.
Yeah, I don't think he.
He just said, oh my God. He's smile. Look at how happy he is when he says this too. He's happy. He's smiling. This is the voice after he talks about, he's like look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna rewind this a little bit.
Brett.
She had my fully informed consent to.
Yeah, I don't think he.
Look at that grin.
Regret.
And he said he was groomed. Once again, it's fine if you want to like look, listen, I don't care what your orientation is. It is what it is. But he's saying like I was groomed in a negative way, right? Like I was taken advantage of. I'm the victim. And he's like laughing about it. Like if you're a victim, like you don't speak about it like so glibly, right? If like you're an actual victim, if you want to play that victim card, right?
That's that.
All right. Well, anyway, Hank, thanks for doing this interview with us. Let's do a more.
I'm actually curious. Do you have a take on the recent happenings about in this past week in Korea? Because you seem to be against the Gen X Koreans, so you must be against like Korean people in general or whatever. Big things happened this week, I'm sure, as you're aware. Do you have any thoughts about Yoon Suk Yeol? And
Welcome to the stream, Elpire Ava. This is the fucking Thunderdome.
What's going on there?
Well, yeah. Like I'm not against Koreans, I'm just against like Korean politicians.
Sure. But yeah,
I'm against like older Korean culture.
Right.
And,
so then
we end the.
Do you have right? Okay. So
then I like to tell you one more thing, but on the Korean president. He's saying that he did it to investigate election fraud. If he did, he's the hero. I mean, if that's true,
right.
He's the hero.
But I guess I'm just like asking what you believe. What do you believe?
At this point, I don't have any evidences to believe one way or the other. I don't want to make a blank statement and I'm wrong there. But I do believe that if it's false, then all right. First of all, my favorite president is Chun Doo-hwan.
Okay, all right. Okay. You know what? All right, before we open up that whole can of worms, let's save that for next time because we're a little bit over now. We are going to get into why you like Chun Doo-hwan, but we'll talk about that next time, okay? And try to get Johnny on with you next time because we want to ask him some questions too, okay?
That
next
time. I mean, that can happen.
Try to get Johnny on? Oh, boy. Yeah, get Johnny on. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. You know what? Get Johnny on. That's a great idea. Johnny, go on. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, really? What's the word? Come on, Johnny, do it. Yeah. Johnny, just go on. Yeah, let's get him on. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Happened when all of my legal cases are like
sure
it's going to be like a couple months,
Okay, sounds good. All right, then. Let us know when that happens.
Let me tell you one more thing.
Yeah.
When those like Korean actors, they always say.
These guys are fucking afraid of what he's gonna say. It's so fucking hilarious. They're literally in fear of what this guy's gonna say. It's like, let me say one more thing. This guy's already talked about getting pegged. He's already talked about getting quote unquote groomed. He's talked about a bunch of other shit. He's talked about femboys, and he's like, hold on. I got one more thing to say.
Like, 인사 안 해?
Right.
Which means like, why aren't you like bowing down to me?
Yeah, but I inza anyway.
Greeting you.
I tell them, 니마 비 차오 니마 쓰러.
Okay.
None of us are Chinese, but what does that mean? What does that mean?
It's 2024. Yeah, hey.
Nima
Korea
means your mom.
Americanized countries in the world.
Right.
Oh, that bowing down shit. I fist bump. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I'll fist bump you, but I bow to others. It's not a big deal. It's just but okay.
Just different types of handshakes.
All right, Hank. Nice fist.
Fist bump.
Hey, fist bump, buddy. Or not buddy, but
Oh shit! They even realize afterwards. He's like, "You're not buddy." He's like, I can't even call you buddy. I can't even call you buddy because you're fucking weird. I can't even call you buddy, bro. That is so fucking uncomfortable, man. This is gold. This is a gold one. These guys 5 out of 5 on this.
Dongsang.
He has to say Dongsang. Dongsang is just like a younger brother, right? In case you guys don't know, but people use it for like anybody who's like younger, right? So like in Korea, it's like there's older, younger. That's a big thing, like oppa for females, right? Dongsang Kyung, right? There's the different levels. So it's like, she's just younger. So it's like, yeah, you're just a kid. Just a fucking younger guy.
Hey, you have a good time at the gym, okay? We'll talk again next time and get more information, okay?
You too, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, peace.
Appreciate it.
All right. All right, and that was it with Hank Yu.
Look at this guy's fucking face here.
You finally joined. It was kind of odd. It wasn't crazy, but it was kind of crazy.
It was strange.
It was quiet crazy.
It was quiet crazy.
I don't know. He's a character.
I mean, I did look him up. It does look like he spent time in a mental institution.
Yeah, I mean, that conversation was absolutely mind-numbing.
Okay, guys, that was Johnny's BFF. Hank Yu explains himself by Korean Social Club. Fucking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So, yeah, that was good. That was good. I'm going to leave a little comment here. That's great. That's great. Okay. Let me read some of your comments here. I'm going to go from top to bottom. Scorpion says, apologies in advance. Seems to me that in number one, Johnny's committing cultural appropriation through a good old white KKK race baiting. Yeah, it's possible. And Johnny's version of BLM is bitches lie, motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, once again, Johnny tries to be, yeah. Johnny tries to be everything to everyone and anything that'll offend anyone, right? That's his thing. Sigrun says dueling should come back, but it should involve everyone in the world with a deck strapped to their belts. Losers get sent to the Shadow Realm, and the winner can take the loser's deck in a skill. That would be fun if like everyone just dueled with cards. That'd be awesome. Tie Sticks says, I noticed my membership lapsed. I'm a Gem X70. We don't say, how dare you disagree with me? Your generation, yeah. We say, do you disagree with reality? I actually get along well with Gen X. I really do. So as an elder millennial, I don't see much difference between myself and a lot of Gen X. And I think the generations are a little bit artificial, right? Because I tend to, if you're a younger person in Gen X or an older millennial, you tend to have a lot in common versus like a younger millennial and older Gen Z might have some more in common. You know, it's very blurry. Sketch Therapy says, do Somalis and Koreans have rights in the Wild West? Yeah, you go back to the Wild West, it might be kind of rough for Somalis, out in Deadwood. Yanero, 88 for 5 Canadians, says, serious question. What do you, to get rid of all that brain rot after you're done streaming about anything related to Johnny Somali? I just relax and I do something like really simple and like easy and like doesn't bother me. Like I do something that like is cleansing, like it's very cleansing for me. So I'll end up like relaxing or like watching something very simple or something like that, like just to get my mind out of it. Also, I just have some really good food and that'll do it. That'll do it. Ryobi says, Hank is given a lot of black screen video by Nietzsche. Well, he could use a lesson, the same lesson that Nietzsche needed, that Nick Rekieta needed, a lot of other people need. Shut up. Let your lawyer talk. Yeah, and it's funny that he's now traded America for China. That's hilarious. Tatsumi for £5 said he just said fuck your mom and something unintelligible, FYI. Thank you for that. Magnus still as a new member. Thank you. Elfpire Ava said fist bump buddy, realizes the mistake. Well, never mind all that. Yeah. Sailor Moon for 5 says, can we investigate as to whether Gina is actually in Japan? Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll ask people around. But once again, I think he's lying low. I don't think he's streaming. So I can ask people if they know he's actually in Japan or not. We'll see. I'll ask some of the other streamers. Maybe they know. Maybe I'll ask like Xena or some of the others to see if they know. Asian Dragon 456 says for $4.99, I'll have to watch again like a book. But what the is Hank doing? By the way, Hank, no such thing in China, Hong Kong, Macau as free speech. Exactly. Elpire said, remember, I'm a Zoomer, but I'm not insane. I know. I accept you. I accept all. If you're willing to watch my content, you're clearly a man or woman of culture. Dave said, Hank criticized Koreans for not acting like Koreans, but you're acting like Mexicans for reacting violently. Come to Mexico. We'll show you how we behave. Yeah. And, Hank is a master of making the stereotypes about other people, but doesn't like it to be applied to him. That's true. Scorpion says, it's a full moon, stranger things coming. Linkage IX for 5 Australian says probably his masculinity issues comes from having to rely on his mother's cash for everything. IMO a lot. Yes, that's a big deal. Maybe not having a dad present when he was growing up. That's a huge one. Since he's 2 years old, he didn't have a dad present. He had to rely on a mother who was probably a single mom to do everything, rely on his mom's money. He's never worked for himself. He's never provided $1 of his own money. He's just kind of a useless lump who gets an allowance, right? You know, he's not allowed to starve, but he's not given much more than that. It's kind of pathetic. Those type of people also have like zero respect, usually from their greater family, particularly within Korea, from what I've seen. You know, I have a good friend here who I talk to a lot, and he's like, yeah, his cousins who are kind of like little Hanks, you know, they get zero respect. They get zero anything. So he probably has a lot of issues that he doesn't feel sufficient as a man to be able to provide because he's never had to do that, and he can't do that. Tailstick says, for stamps, please don't naturalize foreign Vacitus litigators. Litigators. Yes, thank you. That word is slipping me right now. Tie Sticks for 5 says, vexatious. It's vexatious. Vexatious. It should be. I bet $20 assaulted with a baseball bat means his Xbox was the victim. Maybe. We don't know. And once again, a lot of people can say things. I don't know whether those things are on the record or not. I would hope they are, because otherwise they're defamation against his uncle and against his dad. El Eagle, disciple of Wah, for 20,000 dongs, says, thanks for the wheeze. No problem. My laugh tends to get pretty insane. Hagfish for 2 says, so Johnny's renting $2 a day on Hank's place. Well, you guys heard 3,000 for sucky sucky and 10,000 for fucky fucky in Hank's own words. Carlos Danger for 5 says, just when you think Hank can't reach a new low, he grabs a pickaxe and digs the hole even deeper. I think he enjoys the hole being deeper. I mean, from what he describes, he was that smile on his face. I mean, once again, no judgment. He's allowed to be bi or gay, whatever he wants to be. That's fine. It's not a problem. It's just the fact is it emerges with this situation, and his love of money kind of merges all together. Hueva says, told you he let them trespass his construction site. Oh boy. Sichachar Luchai said for Nungroy Taibot, well, that escalated quickly. It's all over the place. Yeah. King of the Monsters 1954 said, thanks, Single Mindset. This will be stuck in my head while I'm at church today. Please say some extra prayers for me. In fact, let's do one right now. Let's do one together, guys. It's a little in spirit of Christmas. Okay. Dear baby Jesus, today we have watched things which are a complete abomination and scald the mind, heart, and soul. Please help us remove these things from our spirit and unburden ourselves so we can move about our day without having to think about Hank, you. Amen. All right. Thank you. Prayer symbols in the chat. We definitely need it. Okay. All right. Eric H says, it's like watching a train wreck, monotone. Oh no, the humanity, how terrible, grabs popcorn. Yeah, it's called Schadenfreude. Everyone in the chat, amen. Yeah, we needed that. Yeah. FFS says, FFS has left the chat. Wait, is Hank smashing Johnny Somali? I mean, look, he literally said he's selling himself out for money, and he was always asking Johnny for money. I mean, if Johnny couldn't pay him, what else is Johnny paying with? If he values it at 3,000, I mean, he's the one who brought this up. It's not me. It's him. He literally brought it up with a smile. And he also brought up his love of femboys. And is Johnny not a femboy? I mean, Johnny is like archetypical femboy. Inori Yuzuha for 25 Hong Kong says, so Hank was a ladyboy, and so he's alpha now with Ramsey being beta. This plot is getting thick. Who's the omega? Well, no. I think Johnny said he was with a ladyboy. So Johnny was with a ladyboy. So Johnny was the bottom to the ladyboy. So the ladyboy is above Johnny, and I'm not sure who's above Hank or Johnny there, but like above both of them is a lady. Yeah, it's really complicated. It gets complicated. This whole there needs to be like a chart. Yeah, in Bali. Yes, in Bali. Sigrun says it's fine to be into things, but when you talk about this stuff on main, you expose people to things that in the most uncomfortable way possible. It's kind of like the game clickholding, which is disturbing. Wait, what? Okay, don't expose people to your brain rot, Sigrun. Cryosite Suyoneko says caught up on 2x speed. This has been a wild watch. Here's some for your tolls and gas. Oh, thank you so. Listen, I had to pay a lot of tolls today. I had to pay at least Hasip baht, so that's I had 50 baht today. So I mean, guys, I'm struggling. 50 baht. It's a real struggle. Nonstop DRE says, so he's saying that he would go to a Diddy after party. Jinblade says he's digging a hole in more ways than one. Yeah, you know it. Tatsium says Hank is hit rock bottom. Oh no, he's got a shovel. Herp Derp said his social score in China is negative already. Project Liberdad says Hank should collaborate with Aster. They probably get along. King Lugia for 6 Malaysian ringgit says the Johnny Somali ex Hank boy love is IRL. Seriously. By the way, is your price over under 3,000? Was the vote in the chat? Over almost 1,000 people voted, and the actually over 1,000. Sorry, over 1,000 voted, and the answer by wide margins, 71% said I would rather be sent to the cabbages. Now, 22% he said you're over, and 7% of you are under. So if you're one of those that was under 3,000, please contact Hank at femboylover6969 at korea.com. Contact Hank if you're under $3,000. He's struggling right now. He needs some of that discount. Chaos Sonic says, will Hank be charged with terrorism? I don't think so, but could he be potentially charged for some things? Maybe. I mean, he's also been defaming a lot of people, which could be a crime over there in Korea. Hank reminds me of Hank from Breaking Bad. He thinks he's a big shot, but he realizes how out of his element he is once he gets on the border. Yeah. Ancient Dragon says, is that why Hank has a Nazi ideology in his mind? Well, he said he used to be a quote-unquote ultra-nationalist, which would be, I guess he was saying he was trying to be like a super America guy, but it was an overcompensation for, I guess, not being an American. It's kind of wild. But that doesn't make up for you lying, right? So it doesn't get you out of that. That's not really an excuse for what he did. Tatsumi for 5. Whether or not you agree with that. And by the way, I'm no fan of the ATF. Let me just be very clear. I'm not a fan of the ATF. Okay, I'm not. But once again, I acknowledge I'm a person who lives in reality. Like unlike Hank, right? I live in reality. I'm like, okay, yeah. I don't like a lot of modern laws. In fact, I disagree with them. That's what I talk about a lot on my channel. The laws I disagree with, the policies I disagree with. But I can be objective and put aside my feelings about laws and say, this is the law now, whether or not I like it. I may hate it, right? And to be honest, and this is a little bit of injection, I don't like the ATF laws, right? I don't. I think a lot of them are bullshit. But that said, they're the law, and I abide by the law, right? I don't try to circumvent the law, right? I abide by the law as it is, right? There are actual ways to oppose it if you want to actually oppose it. Michael Turner for 5 says Bass Reeves would have hunted down Hank like the dog he is. Asian Dragon says Ramsey Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, you should listen to Gordon Ramsay for your liar ego, you donkey, and your idiot sandwiching. Tatsumi for 5 says at least Johnny Somali pays a better cut of the profits and needs you with 2%. That's so funny. I think Hank would make a great femboy VTuber at Niji Sanji. What do you guys think? Should Hank apply for Niji Sanji? I think Hank would be top tier Niji Sanji talent. All right. Danny Skier for Nungroy says 2 things. 1, you said Gen Z does not love Johnny Somali. No, they don't. His IG followers are still growing. Explain that. Okay, let me explain that in a second. And 2, there are crazy supporters in Korea trying to free him. Okay, no, number 2, there are not. I don't know who you're talking about, Danny. Like, there's not. I'm pretty tuned in on the Korean side, and I've yet to find. Let me put it this way: if you are a Korean, if you are a Korean and you support Johnny Somali and you want to free him, you can reach out to me. You can email me or hit my Discord. If you're a real person, you give me your name in Korea, and you want to meet up in Korea, I'll interview you. If you're a Johnny Somali supporter, you want to come on, show your face, and you're a real person, I'll interview you, right? You want to do it? You're not going to actually do it because there aren't any. Not people who are willing to show up. There's nobody who's willing to show up and bat for Johnny Somali, right? They don't want to do it. They don't. El Pyre said you got to pay the troll toll if you want to get into Hank's hole. You got to pay the troll toll today. Oh, no. Oh, also the first one about TikTok followers. Understand this, Danny. Here's a big element. People following you on TikTok does not mean they like you. Have you heard of a hate watcher, a hate viewer? In fact, I've noticed, especially on like Twitter, about 25%, no, it's not the majority, it's a minority, but about 25% of the people that follow me are haters. So people that don't like my takes. So for example, when I attack Japanese black corporations, Niji-sanji, they follow me. All the Niji-sanji people, they follow me. So understand, people that don't like you can follow you. And at this point, people are following Johnny Somali to log him. His TikTok followers go up because people are logging him. People are tracking him. They are hating on him. You can have hate watchers. And that's the thing that Johnny is right about. You do get watches from that, but they're not the type you want. And when the majority of your audience is hate watchers, it doesn't end well for you. Yeah, everybody knows the Niji sisters. We know about that. We got haters. They watch. They do watch. In fact, they watch a lot, but they shouldn't be the majority of your audience. Your audience should be like I think like around where I'm at, like 75-25, or maybe at most 60-40. But if you go to the majority, if you tip over that like 50% range, it doesn't work out very well. And actually, I think like my YouTube watching is actually like 95% love, 5% hate. But I think like Twitter's the Twitter platform that invites more people that are like hate watchers, right? It's just that platform. I think YouTube is more, you have to actively subscribe and stay subscribed. So I think it takes more effort. The hate is more active. So I think I answered one. That was a good answer. A good question. That's a very good question. Allison Brown, pretend, says, I responded to one of your videos asking who Hank was. Now I know, and I'm disgusted. You're welcome. See, Allison, do you regret asking that question? Do you regret that? Now you know. Inori Yuzahara says, by the way, my name is Yuzuriha. Oh, sorry. I too many anime, too many people, too many weeb friends on Twitter. Okay. Yuzuriha. Sorry. Sorry. Dana Skier says, not Korean, a foreigner on Twitter. Also hate Johnny Somali. True. Project Libertad said for 5. The only people I've seen support Johnny are Afrocentrists that believe black people are above the law and fat liberal white women with savior. Not even then, because I'm sorry, it's not a political thing. I don't care. I've seen people liberal, conservative. In fact, a lot of the people that speak to me about Johnny Somali are from all political spectrums, including people that we probably only agree politically on Johnny Somali. And everything else, if we were to have a conversation about our personal beliefs, we'd probably disagree. Although, once again, I do try to give objective coverage, right? And that's fine. I believe we should be able to live in a world where we can agree about stuff and then disagree about other stuff. That's free speech. That's real free speech. Not Hank you, like I'm going to commit crimes, or Johnny Somali, or Ramzi Khalid Ismail free speech, which is I'm free to commit crimes. That's not free speech. Free speech is having intellectual disagreement. That's okay. It's okay to disagree with people. It's fine. It's normal. And I don't hate people who I intellectually disagree with. That's fine. They're allowed to have those beliefs, right? They're also allowed to be wrong, right? Cryo cites Suyoi Neko says, hey, Niji sisters, this Supa isn't going to your Oshi. He or she could graduate and have a better life as an India or another corp. Oh, no, Cryosite, what are you doing? They're going to come after me again. What are you doing? Stop triggering them. Stop. Rayobi said Hank would probably buy all the Vox Tengas. He would buy them and use them. Hagfish says Atozi and other reaction VTubers like Smuggalana are going to have a field day after the stream. They do a reaction from you. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know they all watch my videos and they all their editors look at my videos and they use them, which is fine. By the way, I'm happy to do that. Smuggalana, Atozi, use my videos, bro. And if you cite me, that's cool. I appreciate if you just say, hey, Legal Mindset had a video. That's all. That's cool. If you don't, I'm not mad. It's cool. The exposure for the topic is good enough for me. I'm happy to get the word out there about Johnny Somali, and I'm never mad or salty about it. It is cool. I'm happy people are covering this topic, and they just keep giving us stuff. Hank literally, Johnny should be really pissed at Hank. Hank, when Johnny was kind of maybe slowing down in the news cycle, Hank just gave like another week's worth of content here. There's like a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. I mean, you can dig into that, and there's stuff to investigate and come back on this. This just breathed whole new life into this. Ancient Dragon said, good to know about the supporter to hater ratio. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, no, it's okay to have haters. It's totally okay to have haters. In fact, it's even healthy to have haters. You should have haters, right? Yeah, no, and I like all the other creators, right? And like I said, I met with Al from Asian Analysis. Once again, and people who may have critiques for me, I'm open to critiques. Email me, andrewesquirelive@gmail.com. Email me. If you've got a critique, let me know. I'm happy to fix something. I'm happy to correct the record. I'm happy to learn. I'm not infallible. I can grow. I can become better. I can do things better. I cannot scuff the damn stream. I can do better, and I try to do better. I'm not perfect, but I have improved. 4 years of streaming, God help me. I'm doing a little bit better. Does Korea have homeless shelters? Yes, they do. And there's also places for the homeless to sleep outside. And there's food for them if they need it, right? So he's not going to starve in Korea, right? However, he would have to go to a Korean, homeless shelter or whatever else, which might not end so well for him. Rini for 6 says, some of your haters are making Twitter posts claiming you took money and ran to Asia. Yeah, there are a lot of weirdos. Listen, I don't pay attention to any of them. A lot of weirdos, a lot of weird people saying weird things. A lot of people will say a bunch of crazy shit. Your haters are going to say shit. What you do is you just don't personally acknowledge them, and I just ignore them. I don't care. Haters can say a bunch of shit. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't change the truth of my messaging. Once again, haters are going to hate. Chaos Smashes, Hank will be the new captain of the USSR Vox Tenga. Yeah. Exactly. Chris says, thank you for the interesting coverage. My pleasure, Chris. Thank you. And thank you for your support. Thank you for helping me with the microphone, brother. You are much, much appreciated. It really helps me, and it helps me do the coverage. It also frankly, all the support on Ko-Fi has helped me do the interviews. I've had to pay for translation, and I've had people that are doing subtitles for me and doing other stuff like that. Some volunteer, some not, but I'm also paying double translators. So it's a lot of stuff going on, but I do appreciate that. Do appreciate the support, and I appreciate you guys enjoy the coverage and just enjoy that we've gone deeper on this than anybody else, really. And it's awesome. It's really awesome. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, Chris, for the support. Allison Brown for 10 said, no, I'm glad I asked because I thought legit that Hank was trying to get Johnny Somali on the right path. He's just down the gutter rolling around with him. Yeah, Hank is on the level of Johnny. All right, so one thing I'm going to say it again. We have coming up, I'm going to do an episode on the deep fakes later this week. There's a lot more on that. It goes towards the equipment. There's also some potential stuff going on there. So that's an episode for this week. I also, eventually, I'm going to do one on the prisons. I don't know whether that'll be this week or next week. So that's coming up on Johnny Somali coverage. So we're not going anywhere in terms of that, at least in the short run. So even though his trial may have been moved, certainly the coverage has not. And there's going to be stuff picking up. There's going to be twists and turns in this case coming over the next month that are going to absolutely shock people. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Chaos said, Alice Raiders, us Wondertards of Leaders. Oh, welcome. Also, Derp said, thank you for having amazing coverage. I am trying to do the best at focusing on this topic. People may not like that. Some people may like other topics. If you like other topics, well, you can go check out other channels. There's other wonderful channels with wonderful creators that do a great job at whatever coverage they're covering. All right. Let's see. Not that many people streaming right now. Who's streaming? My good friend X-Ray Girl. Let me send over. Let's send you over to my favorite friend, X-Ray Girl. She's just, I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she's doing something with Legos. I don't know what she's doing, but it'll shock her to get thousands of people in her chat just showing up. Tell her Legal Mindset sent you. Oh wait, no, is that scheduled? That's not even right now, is it? Oh, it's not even right now. Well, anyways, it's a good redirect. We'll catch you all next time. Until then, guys, stay based, and I will catch you later.
Oh, no, man.
America!